Welcome back to Cyclone Sports Complex for game number 2 of today's doubleheader featuring the Texas Tech Red Raiders and your Iowa State Cyclones. This is game number 2 of the 3-game series. There'll be a game tomorrow at noon, making a plug for that. But right now, we'll have the second matchup of the day, and the Cyclones came out ahead. 5-2 victory. Texas Tech actually ended up having 7 hits to Iowa State's 4. It was just really important. The big hits that the Cyclones had, they were so big, and how key were those hits?
Those hits were pretty key, and you touch on the 7-4 disadvantage for the Cyclones. That means the Red Raiders did leave some runners on base, and we take a look earlier. Here's that first hit, the first run in by the Red Raiders here. Just nice hit to the right field, and 1-0 lead.
Well, now we go into the third inning. Bases loaded for Brittany Gomez. Normally the slapper hits a grand slam. And then a couple batters later, Lexi Slater adds her own home run. So those are all 5 runs the Cyclones earned all in one inning. And then the fourth, just a hit right up the middle, is able to score a Red Raider. Not without Brittany Gomez trying. Luckily, Sammy Hildreth also got the out in the third. And then to end it all, Kathleen Bingham with the fantastic catch. 2 outs, runners on first and second, and she was able to end the game by tracking that down and snagging that awesome hit with an even more awesome catch. So hopefully the Cyclones continue both thorough defensive play. You know, Cyclones made solid plays. The Red Raiders were just able to capitalize in different situations. They're a type of offense that really capitalizes on small errors. They're going to run hard, they're going to run aggressive, and they're going to force those Cyclones to work hard. And we saw that in the first game.
Yeah, and we touched on before even game 1, back to Wednesday, that the bottom half of that lineup is really, what got the Cyclones going. And the bottom half of the lineup has to be successful for the top of the lineup to be able to bring those guys in for runs. And that's what happened. The bottom half were able to get on, which resulted in Brittany Gomez hitting that grand slam. And then just Lexi Slater just being able to hit that home run was just the icing on the cake. But you touched on great defense by the Cyclones. Couple diving catches in that catch to end the game. On the warning track was great as well.
Exactly. It was a fun game. A lot of hits and great pitching by both pitchers. Stacey Ragantine started out the game and threw a very thorough game. A pass ball, got runners on. Just things got a little dicey, and she was always able to get out of the situation. And for the Red Raiders, you saw Kara Custer, who gave up those 2 big hits. That's huge. But then came and pretty much retired the Cyclones straight from then on out. So, it's just a very... the Big 12 is a fun game. You never know who's going to come out on top, and some days it's pitching will win it, some days it's hitting, and the Cyclones were able to do all their jobs quite effectively and do that again. So we're on to matchup number 2. Pretty much both the same lineups. We'll just see a couple different pitchers in the circles. So we'll actually take a look here at the Texas Red Raiders offense. So it'll be led off by Jordan Bettial, Devin Tomey, Christy Belshie, Leah Hobson, and here's the switch. Kira Miles, who is so effective hitting for the Red Raiders, is moved up. She switched places with Ashley Fultz, then Susan Welburn, Brittany Warnicki, who had the marathon at bat, and finally Brooke Scott for the Red Raiders. Now looking to the Cyclone defense, not much has changed. It's just the same all across, with Bingham, who had a great game in the outfield, along with Gomez and McFarland. The outfield played solid. Antion Slater, Reese Spenlove across the infield, Hildreth catching again, and now we'll be seeing Weilbacher in the circle. Weilbacher pitched some great games. She pitched great down at Baylor against the number 16 team. Ended up losing 2-0, but she still pitches really tough, and she's a very smart pitcher, very similar to Ragantine, where she has bag tricks, not super expansive, but just very effective. And so we'll be seeing her in the circle. She is a freshman. Now that's huge that the Cyclones have this freshman pitcher who is so solid, because it's again, like we said earlier, for hitting, like for various Cyclones, it's even bigger to jump to pitching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in high school, a high school pitcher can get by on power alone, by just powering up by batters and spinning them into the ground. But here in college, you got to be a little bit smarter, a little bit tougher, and I definitely think Weilbacher definitely has some very good head on her shoulders and does a great and thorough job on the mound. So it'll be interesting to see how she does. The Cyclones, we should be getting started here in just a sec. Doubleheader, we had a little bit of rain yesterday, so we had to move today, and it's looking like the rain's going to hold off now.
Hopefully.
Majority of the clouds are far, far away. There you see Weilbacher warming up. Right-handed pitcher. She's had about 23 appearances this season. She's just been doing a great freshman season, which is really exciting to hear because there are some seniors, and so it'll be important to make sure we have the freshmen. And here we have head coaches meeting. This is the Texas Tech Red Raiders, Adrian Gregory. This is her first season. Having a great first season. The Red Raiders have the potential to end up above 500. So, she's doing a really nice job. The Red Raiders, again, have won 7 of their past 9 games, all in Big 12 play. And that's saying a lot. The Big 12 is pretty tough league with great pitching, great hitting. I mean, we just saw Lauren Chamberlain of Oklahoma break the all-time home run record with 91. So it's not like the Big 12 is an easy place to be. And so Gregory's helping her team, and the Red Raiders really just continue on a good streak. And Cyclones are also hoping with this series to continue to stay above 500 for the first time in a long time. And that's going to be really key. And these games are important for that effort. So we'll get started here in just a couple seconds with our first pitch, hopefully. Cyclones got to take the field after a last-minute pep talk from head coach Stacy Meinhardt-Sessler. We'll talk to her after this game as well, so stay tuned for that after this game wraps up.
You talk about the Cyclones wanting to, finish the season above 500. What would it mean for the Red Raiders to finish above? Right now they're 23 and 26. Not going to be able to finish above 500. That game 1 was really going to be crucial, but it still means a lot for Gregory for her first year at the Red Raiders to finish on a positive note. They've had you talk about the recent games and the recent success that they've had against quality Big 12 opponents. You mentioned winning 2 out of 3 against Texas coming into here in Ames. So to finish on a high note, granted they probably wanted to finish at 500, but not going to happen. But to finish the season on a strong note is something that Gregory has probably told her girls for today's game and also for tomorrow's game as well.
Exactly, and the Red Raiders leading up to this season have had 5 straight seasons of winning. So it's going to be kind of nice little notch in the belt for the Cyclones if they're able to end that. And we see the weather. A couple degrees cooler, but fewer clouds, so we'll take it than an original start time.
Absolutely.
Wind doesn't seem to be too much of a factor. Flags are kind of lazy out there. Iowa flag, a little more active than the U.S. flag, so won't be a factor. The home runs hit in earlier games were all by the force of the bat. No help from the wind there. So with that throw down to second, looks like we're going to get started. And first we'll see Jordan Bedial. Bedial is a solid hitter for the Red Raiders, as we've seen earlier. Let's see, how'd you do in game 1?
Her first at bat was a fly out to left field, and then a couple hits to Lexi Slater for ground outs in innings 3 and 4, and then she finished the game in the 7th with a fly out to Lexi Slater against a lot of action for Lexi Slater, but she did finish 0-4, but does have the potential to, with one swing of the bat, make an impact on this game. So we'll see what she does here at the first pitch. And it is taken for a strike 1. Great pitch by Weilbacher for the Cyclones.
Weilbacher definitely has a presence on the mound. She looks like one of the taller Cyclone pitchers, and that's a big deal. That's in softball, you see a lot of tall pitchers because it's a longer stride, so you deliver the ball closer to the mound. And again to Lexi Slater. Lexi Slater just
that 6'3" play
needs to be ready from here on out whenever Bedial's up there. So that's the first out of the inning, and we'll see Devin Tomey, the designated hitter. She also had a couple. She's smart at batter. She drew 2 walks, but then she also struck out twice. So she's kind of had an up and down day, but she was a threat on the base paths. So she definitely is seeing the ball. Maybe not always in her advantage very smartly, but she'll be a threat.
Absolutely. She takes ball 1 very close, just below the elbow for her first at bat of this doubleheader. You mentioned couple walks, couple of strikes. She is very smart. She likes to work that count. She knows what pitch she wants. Sometimes she might not always get it, but you know that she knows what she's looking for as she grounds one to the second base and a toss over to Spenlove for the second out of the inning in the top of the first. Great field by Reese. With a nice toss over to Spenlove for the second out, as we will bring up Christy Belshi here for the Lady Red Raiders.
Belshi again had a good game. She got on base initially in the first inning, then was thrown out at trying to steal second base. So we'll see how she does here. As I was saying earlier, it's really an advantage for Weilbacher to be so tall. because that longer stride means she's delivering the ball closer to the plate, which means less of a reaction time. And so you will see in softball, you look around at Tennessee at one point had a pitcher who was 6'4".
Oh, wow.
So, it's a definitely advantage, and it's good for Weilbacher to definitely work that frame for that. So definitely reducing that reaction time is so key.
Are you saying having a short pitcher is not necessarily a good thing, or what should someone look at when they see a short collegiate pitcher? Does that mean that
it's just a different thing? Most Division I softball pitchers will be pretty tall, wider shoulders, just a bigger frame on them so they can get the power and then also just the explosiveness off the mound, because that's how that delivers. And we see Weilbacher's stats there. You see her stride takes her pretty much to the front of that circle, and that's kind of a long distance. Like you see where the
about
chalks.
2 of my strides, so we're good.
Yeah, I would never want to try and keep up with her walking on campus. So again, you'll see time and time again these taller pitchers because they can get the power behind it and that stride, which again, it's not a long distance from the pitcher's mound to home plate, and if you can make it even shorter, that's advantage pitcher.
All the more power to you, literally. So. All right, we will see Weilbacher with this 2-2 delivery, and it is hit over to Reese, and again, a nice underhand throw to Spendlove for the final out of the top of the first. We will begin the Cyclones at the top of the order with Gomez, Bingham, and Capper after the break.
Be greater than you imagine at the Iowa State University College of Engineering.
Welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex, as Iowa State will get their first crack in the batter's box for this second game of the doubleheader this evening. Again, like I said before we went to break, it will lead off with Brittany Gomez, followed by Caitlin Bingham, and then Allie Capper. And then as you see the whole lineup here, Lexi Slater batting fourth, who had a nice home run last game, Maddie Reese, and then Jordan Spendlove, Kelsey McFarland, Nicole Antion in the 8th position, and then Sammy Hildreth to round out the batting order. So, Sarah, what does this defense look like for the Red Raiders? Pretty similar?
Pretty similar, other than a switch at the mound. So we'll have Welburn, Bettyall, Miles across the outfield, Fultz, Scott, Hobson, and Warnicki with Belshie behind the plate. And then in the circle, we have Chandler Moore. So Chandler Moore will get the start here for the Red Raiders. She's made 27 appearances. Let's see, she's gotten 58 strikeouts and 21 walks. So she will have the start here for the Red Raiders. Let's see, Chandler Moore, she's tossed a complete game, so she's usually been seen in relief, not as common as a starter, but she has been getting the starts against Oklahoma State. So she did allow just 2 runs in the victory against Oklahoma State that the Red Raiders had about a week back. So she'll face up Brittany Gomez here first. Again, Gomez had her second home run of the season. Nice there. Nice home
one
run.
at that. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. We could probably expect something similar to how she started off the first game here with this first pitch.
No runners on. She's back to her slapping days. Hoping to disrupt the infield and the defense enough to get on base, use that speed. Well, you'll see with the slapper, she'll either try and bounce it over someone's head, poke it in a gap, and then just try and beat it out so that it's never an easily fielded ball from a slapper. That's the name of the game for that.
Here comes that 0-1 delivery, and she takes ball one now. Count moves to 1-1. Now, you mentioned there's so many things you can do with a slap. You can bounce it over the head, find a gap. How do they determine that from the moment that pitcher starts their windup?
Mostly it's just what they can get their bat on. If it's going to come in high, you'll probably see them try and bounce it, because they can almost tomahawk it.
Yeah.
And then see there, she chopped a higher pitch into the ground and tried to beat it out. Third base was right there, wasn't able to get it maybe a foot to the other side, and Gomez might have been on base. But that's what you got to do as a slapper and try and work it around the defense. So now we will see Kathleen Bingham, another slapper. Again, another person trying to just disrupt that offense.
We'll see what she can do here. Last game, she went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. hoping for something different here in game 2 of the doubleheader. So we'll see what she does here with the first pitch. And she takes ball 1 for her first at-bat of this second game of the doubleheader.
Bingham does a nice job of not letting what happens at the plate affect her in the outfield. She's a fantastic outfielder. And so, yeah, maybe she didn't have as an effective game at the plate, but she'll still take that and kind of move on. It's always tough in softball.
You know, very quick foul ball to the Iowa State dugout. That dugout's getting a lot of action today. Wouldn't surprise me if they get a little more later. So
yeah, almost took out former high school teammate Allie Capper. She's got to be on her toes over there.
She had a smile over, so everything must be all good. So
yep, there's more stats. She's a senior, so she's got a lot of experience. Another chopper up the third base line.
Went for the coach that time. She's making her way through that Cyclone lineup, so maybe expect one maybe down the first base line.
Yep.
All right, we will see what more we'll do with this 1-2 delivery ahead in the count against Bingham here, the left fielder for Iowa State.
Moore did pitch a shutout versus Texas. It was her senior night and her second complete game. So she's riding high on a couple victories here.
Kind of jammed her up with that pitch inside. Bingham had really nothing there. All she could do really was just foul it off. So good job by Bingham. Live to fight another day and live to fight another 1-2 count here from Moore. Here comes that windup. The delivery and is very high. Nice snag by the catcher Belshi there. Now the count moves to 2-2 for Bingham. Here comes Moore's windup in the delivery. And Bingham flies it out, and third base calls it and gets the second out of the inning. You saw Fultz there call off Scott and gathers the ball. Out number 2 of the inning. Up next, Allie Kappert for Iowa State. If you look at her last game, not too good of a game, 0 for 3. So we'll see what she does here with her first at-bat of the second game of this doubleheader. Takes ball 1 inside, got to the to the backstop for Texas Tech. So
might have rattled off the end of her bat there. Nothing a lefty really hasn't seen before.
Yeah.
Here we see Belshi getting the signs from the dugout.
Here comes this 1-2 delivery to Allie Kappert. And she swung on right up the middle and just past Hobson there at second base as Allie Kappert records her first hit of the day and the first hit for the Cyclones in this second game. Nice hit by Allie Kappert.
Yeah, there is no pitch that I have not seen Allie Kappert hit before. Any pitch coming in anywhere, you see that low and kind of at the knees, and she makes the most of it. Not the most beautiful hit of all time, but past second base and into the outfield, so it's effective, and she's on base. And now that brings up Lexi Slater. So with 2 outs, Lexi Slater will hopefully be able to move her around, get a run here at the beginning of this inning.
And she definitely has in the back of her mind that home run that she had in that first game. Would really love to duplicate that here with Allie Kappert on base, but we'll see what she does here with this 1-0 delivery. And she skies it to the shortstop of Texas Tech, and she gathers it. Scott records the third out of the inning as Iowa State recorded 1 hit in that inning, and we will move to the top of the second. Still scoreless here in Ames, 0-0.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
On game day, the Cyclones look to score as many points as possible.
This time, we're fighting for a 0.
We want the number of people in Iowa waiting for a life-saving organ transplant to be 0.
Working together, Iowa can be the first state in the nation where no one waits for a transplant.
If you don't have a Y next to donor on your driver's license, go to iowadonornetwork.org to help nearly 600 Iowans waiting for their gift of life.
I'm Fred Hoiberg, and I'm a registered organ and tissue donor.
Welcome back here to the Cyclone Sports Complex here in Ames, Iowa, as we are still scoreless after one inning, and we'll be heading to the top of the second where the cleanup hitter for Texas Tech, Hobson, will lead off for the Red Raiders, followed by Fultz and Miles.
Miles, don't forget, was very effective in game one. And Miles, you know, speedy on the base paths. She has over 100 career hits. She's got triples like none other, and she's just on a roll. She's speedy, she's smart, so that's definitely a threat that hopefully Cyclones can have 2 outs and no base runners by the time they get through her. That just require them to retire Hobson and Fultz. There you see Hobson's season average. She's been a threat, kind of a more consistent batter for the Red Raiders. She didn't have as effective game as she usually does, but 318 on the season, 11 home runs, 37 RBIs. That's a solid stat line for this point in the season. So definitely keep an eye on her.
And she takes ball 2 on the outside. Last game, Fultz did record a strikeout at her first at-bat and then flew out to Lexi Slater and then recorded her first hit of the day with a single in the top of the 6th. So we'll see what she does here with her first at-bat in the second game of this doubleheader as she takes strike 1.
There you see Weilbacher's stats again. As a freshman, she's doing a great job. You know, a lot of innings pitched. It's a big learning curve, but in the games we've seen, she's been doing a good job. A deflected off for a glove. Lexi Slater tried to make the throw. Spendlove with a nice stretch, but just a little too late. So that will put Leah Hobson on first as here we go. Here's where we play off that. Just off her glove. Tried to snag it. Slater was already moving in the other direction. Able to scoop it up and move it in, but not until after Hobson was well past first base.
And brings up Kiera Miles that you talked about earlier. Had a great game. Ended the game with 2 doubles. We'll see what she does here with her first at-bat as she takes strike 1. She did. I think it was a smart move for Texas Tech to move her up in the starting lineup. You know, yes, it's only one position, but as you see here, a runner on base. Finish the game with 2 doubles. We'll see what she does here with this 0-1 delivery. And she takes ball 1 on the outside, move that count to 1-1 with Leah Hobson on first. Top of the second, still scoreless here, 0-0.
There you see her stats. Again, 348, 8 home runs, 42 RBIs. Those RBIs are showing that she's working hard. Try to get Hobson stealing second, but bouncing throw not in time. Again, this is the second game where Texas Tech has started off with a steal, trying to get that base runner moved ahead, and this time worked. Hilder's throw was not in time. First game, the Cyclones were able to cut down Belshie as she stole. So, again, we're seeing why the Red Raiders are kind of top of the nation in their stolen bases. They make aggressive plays.
It could have been a hit and run. You know, she did swing on a very, very high pitch, way out of the strike zone to move that count to 1-2. But as you see here, takes ball 2. Count is now at 2-2 with Leah Hobson on, Leah Hobson on second after that stolen base. Comes at 2-2 pitch, and she gets Kiera Miles down swinging for the first out of the inning. We touched on how big of a game she had earlier today. Big strikeout for her.
Yep, that's very key for Weilbacher to feel like she's got the upper hand in this, relationship between pitcher and batter. So it's good of Weilbacher to get, the earlier you can get your first strikeout recorded, the better. And she's doing a nice job with the runner on base. And after even that steal, that might have just disrupted things. So now we're seeing third baseman Ashley Fultz.
She takes ball 1 there. Red Raiders hopefully with only 1 out, runner in scoring position. There was no outs when that runner was in scoring position. They really don't want to leave someone stranded on base, much like they kind of did in that first game. So it's difficult to win a game when you leave a runner stranded. So we'll see Ashley Fultz here take this 1-0 pitch count. We
are at the heart of the lineup that looks like they've done the most scoring with this little chunk right here, pretty much with all averaging about 30 RBIs. So definitely key time for the Cyclones here. And we see Sammy Hildreth coming out to talk to Weilbacher, pretty much saying, we got this. We can do this. No need to worry. Hildreth, the junior, kind of has a little more experience to just make sure that the freshman Weilbacher is all good, all in check, and can keep going. Good look over there at Hobson at second. She has been taking aggressive leadoffs. You see her making Hildreth kind of fake at her. Those are pretty long leads. Second base, you have usually a bit more space to take a big leadoff, but she's really pushing the envelope. And look for Texas Tech to do that through the rest of the game. You know, first game they weren't able to really do that. They got runners on when there were 2 outs or different situations. So
good pitch there by Weilbacher to get that first strike, move the count to 3-1. And for Hildreth, you saw she did let a couple balls go by her in that first game, but luckily there were no runners on base. Now she does. Got to be a wall back there, as everybody knows, everybody says. Can't let a runner advance and give him a free pass without a chance to throw him out. As she takes a little short shot to second base as Reese grabs that for the second out of the inning. Great, that was great by Weilbacher. Up, down 3-0. Throw that, get that strike in there and to be able to have her fly out to second base. And now 2 outs, bringing up Susan Wellborn.
The nice thing about Weilbacher is she understands that she's maybe not the biggest strikeout pitcher, but she lets her defense do a lot of her legwork for her, and that's a very mature move by a freshman to not put all the pressure on yourself to deal with all the batters. She definitely allows her defense, which she's got a pretty senior infield and even outfield working with her, so it's a really smart move on her part not to bring all the pressure and internalize that, which can usually show cracks and weaknesses in a young pitcher, and that's really mature move by her.
Here she comes with that 1-0 delivery and swung on third base, and the throw cannot be handled by Spenlove, and the runner does come across. So an unfortunate event by Antion's throw, a little off. Don't know if Spenlove could have came up and got it and got the out to end the inning, but either way, it's a run for the Red Raiders.
So almost a slow roller kind of off the end of her bat. Antion does a nice job charging. Nice throw, just not in time. I think even if it maybe hadn't bounced, it would have been fine, but that allows Hobson to score. She was taken off since there were 2 outs. She's able to run like there was no tomorrow, so that allowed her to cross the plate and put the Raiders on the board here at the top of the second with 2 outs.
And up next, we do have Brittany Warnicki for the Red Raiders, who in the previous game started out with a single in the second inning, a walk in the fourth, and then she flew out to the left field in her final at-bat.
Does look like there was an error recorded on that previous play.
And here comes that delivery. And must be a little outside for the Blues' liking. We'll move that count to 2-0 for Weilbacher with 2 outs, a runner on first, and the score, the Red Raiders have a 1-0 advantage. And she takes that to center field. Looks like Brittany Gomez has to come in, and she makes the catch for the final out of the inning. We will move to the bottom of the second. Red Raiders up 1-0.
Keeping the people in this building comfortable is a top priority for us.
And Mid-American Energy can help.
40% of our energy bill was just keeping the lights on. Then we switched to energy-efficient lighting and bought new uniforms instead.
With new efficient appliances, I'm saving money on my energy and water bills.
And the money we save each month moving and drying this grain is easy to handle.
Regardless of size, Mid-American Energy can help improve your business's bottom line. The power is in your hands with Mid-American Energy.
Our team's goal is to win every game. Every player has a direct impact on that goal. On the highway, the way to win is to set your goal to 0. 0 fatalities. Just like basketball, safe driving takes dedication by everyone playing the game. Reaching the goal of 0 is simple. Give your full attention to driving. Obey the speed limit, don't drink and drive. And buckle up, every seat, every time. 0 is the only goal acceptable for me and my family. Shouldn't it be yours?
Welcome back to Cyclone Sports Complex. You see that Cy has made a friend. He's just hanging out, enjoying the lovely doubleheader Softball we have here today. Don't forget there will be one more game tomorrow, again against Texas Tech Red Raiders to finish out the series. And right now at the bottom of the second, trying to get that run back, we will see Reese, McFarland, and Spenlove hopefully trying to get some base runners and have those batters cross the plate eventually so that the Cyclones can get back on the board. They will be facing Chandler Moore of Texas Tech. Cyclones were effective on getting the bat on the ball. We had a couple ground outs, fly outs, and then don't forget Allie Cappert's hit. So,
and that might be out of play. Absolutely no way to get a beat on that. So
I had some hang time.
Absolutely. So Maddie Reese will face an 0-1 count, hoping to redeem herself from an 0-3 outing in the first game of this doubleheader. As you see her stats there, 273, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs. Does have that power to take it yards. So we'll see what she does here with this 0-1 delivery.
Again, Maddie Reese is a home run threat. She's had some very timely game-winning home runs throughout the season. So just keep an eye on that. She does have the power to hit home runs. She's had some against Iowa, North Dakota, Drake, all our in-state, a couple of our in-state rivals.
Yeah.
So Reese is still a threat. You know, softball is a game of ups and downs, so can't be on all the time. But hopefully she can translate, start to get her batting average back up there and start being effective.
She moves the count to 2-1, a little more in her favor. Possibly got the green light here with this 2-1 count. We'll see what she does with this delivery from Moore. And she'll take ball 3 in the dirt, moving the count to 3-1 for Maddie Reese. Showing some very good composure at that box, not chasing anything in the dirt, really waiting for what she wants. Possibly might have the red light here at a 3-1 with Moore missing the strike zone. Guess not. Lines one to third base. Throw over to first for the first out of the inning.
Cyclones are being aggressive at the plate. You know, maybe your first at bat, you take that pitch count a little higher, but I think on 3-1, if you see a pitch you like, you go for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always a big believer in that. But Cyclones are still being smart at bat, and they've gotten their bat on the ball. So maybe it hasn't been effective hits yet, but I think early on, if you can get those hits, it's always a lot better. So we're seeing Jordan Spenlove right now attacking first pitch strike. Seen a couple of those, actually. So Cyclones are going right at Chandler Moore.
It's always good to be, swinging at that first pitch shows that their aggressiveness. They want to get out. They want to put runners on base and get runners across the plate. So here comes that 0-1 delivery. High, taken for ball 1. Kelsey McFarland last game flew out to center field, had a strikeout, and went 0 for 2 last game. So, and as she puts one right back to the pitcher and over to first for the second out of the inning for the Cyclones.
Pitch was hard hit right back up the center. Moore just reacted well, was able to get the out. Again, Cyclones are putting the bat on the ball. I think in later innings that'll hopefully translate to some things past the infield, but we'll have to see. Here's that hit again. Right back at her. Moore a little bit off balance, still able to snag that.
Little lucky.
Yeah, send that over to Warnicki over at first base. And so now we have Kelsey McFarland. Actually,
Jordan Spenlove,
excuse me. Jumping ahead, right behind.
Jordan Spenlove.
Oh, it is McFarland. Here we go. I was right the first time.
I thought they'd switched.
I hadn't updated my lineup card from last game.
She fouls one off. Again, Cyclones running a little low on some balls, possibly. All right, here comes that 1-1 delivery. A little low, moving the count to 2-1 for Kelsey McFarland.
Again, we take a look here at Moore getting the start in this game. Hasn't been a starter throughout the season, but a couple last games she's been playing pretty well. So she got the green light from first-year coach Adrian Gregory to hit the start in the circle.
Here we go with McFarland. 3-1 count, very similar to Spendlove. We'll see what she does here with her 3-1 pitch on the way. And she takes it to second base, able to corral it and throw it over the first base as the Texas Tech Red Raiders end the second inning. We will move to the top of the third. Red Raiders still up 1-0.
The Iowa Farm Bureau and Iowa State Athletics congratulate Jordan Spendlove, a 2014-15 Farm Strong squad member. Jordan displays the exemplary Farm Strong character, perseverance, and work ethic of Iowa's farmers. Those individuals who don't have an ounce of quit in them. Those who are Farm Strong. Spendlove has exceptional morals and character, is a tireless worker, and goes above and beyond in everything she does. The Iowa Farm Bureau and Iowa State Athletics salute Farm Strong squad member Jordan Spendlove.
Anyone can get service in town, but US Cellular offers 4G LTE where you just wouldn't expect it. So you can watch your shows. Way out here! Stream your music. Way out here! Or check Facebook. Way out here. Pretty awesome, huh? With US Cellular, now the middle of nowhere is the middle of anywhere.
Welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex. Looks like the sun has finally come out to join the Cyclones here today as they move into the top of the third with the Red Raiders leading 1-0. We'll see the bottom of the lineup with Scott and then back up to the top with Bedial and Tomey. So Cyclones were not able to capitalize in that inning. So far it's been kind of a duel here between the Cyclones. The Red Raiders were able to capitalize on a couple plays earlier in the second inning to get that one run on the board thanks to some speedy base running. And so you have some fans out here enjoying the day when it didn't rain. Thank goodness. We're all been holding our breath, hoping that it wouldn't. So now we have Weilbacher facing Brooke Scott of the Red Raiders.
As Brooke Scott takes strike one for her first bat of this second game with a doubleheader. Brooke Scott last game, she did strike out, got pinch hit for in the fourth inning, and then struck out in the top of the seventh. So
kind of variation day for her. Not the highest average, but still, again, top to bottom, this Red Raider lineup is fast. They are fast on the line on the base paths, and so you did see her show bunt there for a sec. So always good to try and keep the defense and the Cyclones on their toes.
Now she chooses not to bunt, but she does take strike two of her at bat to move the count to 1-2. The Red Raiders still have that 1-0 lead from their first from scoring that run in the previous inning in the top of the second. Weilbacher here with the delivery. And crowd thought that was strike three, but Blue says no, and the count will move to 2-2.
Not a bad 1-2 pitch.
Absolutely not.
An almost strike that wouldn't be a fun one to swing at. It was nice, a little high, I think, according to Blue. So we now move to 3-2.
There's a reason why the crowd doesn't get a say in this. Otherwise, that would have been strikeout. So, all right. So Brooke Scott took ball three with full count. We'll see what she does with this 3-2 pitch. Comes a wind up in the delivery, and she lines it down the left field. Barely foul.
Yep. That one you blinked and you missed it.
I mean, I got a TV right in front of me. Yeah. Left field is not my specialty. I got your right field line for you. So.
Well, that was me sleeping on the job. Ump did a nice job calling that speedy of a hit. She really turned and cranked that ball down the line.
Here comes a second 3-2 delivery from Weilbacher, and good job by Brooke Scott to draw a much-deserved walk after fending off a couple balls. So up next, we'll move to the top of the lineup with Jordan Bedial.
Again, Bedial is a threat. Speedy. She is 0 for 1 on the day so far. She hit to Lexi Slater. So let's see if she goes to Lexi Slater.
She's got to know. She's gone to Lex Slater all but one time. She went to left field. So she always likes to go that left part of the field. We'll see what she does with this at bat. She's going to throw down a bunt, which she tries. Unsuccessful. Strike one.
If she does have to swing away, if the bunt is not effective, we'll see if Lexi Slater can get a double play here. with the speed of Texas Tech that they have showed so far, I'd say that it's going to be pretty tough. But we'll see here if Bettiol tries for bunt again. And she does. And foul. So now with the count 0-2, Bettiol will be swinging away.
Got to look out for Brooke Scott. Tied for the most steals on the team with 15 stolen bases on 19 attempts. So doesn't get caught very often, but we'll see what happens here with this 0-2 count.
Definitely an effective number 9 batter. You know, she may not have the highest average, but if you get her on and then you have your other 2 speedy people at the top of the lineup, it's
can move her around.
Yep.
And she takes ball 1. Very inside.
Looked like a rise ball. Got a little bit away from Weilbacher. That tends to happen if it comes, kind of just slips out of the fingers. It can come really high inside on a batter, and luckily Bettiol avoided that.
Comes that 1-2 delivery, and strike 3. Bettiol goes down looking as Weilbacher gets her first strikeout of the game to record the first out in the 3rd inning. Great pitch by Weilbacher. Absolutely. Kind of just froze Bettiol.
Thought about it. But again, that's not an easy pitch for a slapper. You could already see that Bettiol's hips were actually turned away, so she'd even stuck her bat out there. I don't know if she would.
Might have been a foul ball. Who knows? And that swung on, snagged by the first base, over to Lexi Slater, and just not in time for that double play. Nice snag by Spendlove there at first. Threw it to Slater, get that for sure out at second, and Slater was almost able to get that double play back to Spendlove, but overall great play.
Yeah, very heads up. You know, Spendlove could have probably taken it at first, but always good to get that head runner, especially when down 1-0, and they almost had her at first. Again, that dang speed of the Red Raiders is making things tough for those Cyclones. So now we see Belshie, the catcher, swinging on that first pitch.
Slater over to first for the final out of the 3rd inning. Cyclones do give up a hit in the top of the 3rd, but we will move to the bottom of the 3rd for the Cyclones. Red Raiders lead 1-0.
Hey, check it out.
DSL. It's so cheap.
Like it? Now people will switch back.
Well, Mediacom is still up to 10 times faster.
Yeah.
And pretty much necessary for homes with lots of devices.
Well, yeah.
And the recent FCC report said that Mediacom delivered on its 15 meg speeds, and DSL didn't. So really...
DSL is overpriced.
Yeah. The fact is, with faster proven speeds, more people switch to Mediacom for the real deal.
This is where crisp, smooth, refreshing Bud Light happens. But it is right here that it becomes an invitation. Making this not only 12 ounces of refreshment, but also 12 ounces of inspiration. To be more up for whatever than ever.
Bud Light.
The perfect beer for reading and unleashing a whole world of whatever in the name of a ridiculously good time. If you're up for whatever, look for your message on Bud Light bottles. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
And here we move into the bottom of the 3rd. We'll see the bottom of the Cyclone lineup with Antion Hildreth, and then move up to the top with Brittany Gomez. So 2 more batters to get another look at their first look at Chandler Moore. As we move here in the 3rd, the Red Raiders do lead 1-0. They got a run across in the 2nd inning, so the Cyclones are hoping to get some base runners and to get some runs this inning. This will be definitely key to just make sure they don't get too far in the hole or even just have that one run hanging out there and Cyclones not being able to be effective. Cyclones have gotten 1 base runner with Allie Capert in the 1st, but then after that it's just been a lot of infield hits, not always the most solid. They've been a lot of ground balls, and so hopefully we can get a solid bat on the ball.
And Antion takes her first pitch of the 2nd game of this doubleheader for a ball. If you look at Antion's earlier game, she had a bump for a hit, and then she grounded out to the shortstop. So not a bad game. Hoping to improve here in game 2 as she takes ball 2 a little low. Very similar position from the first pitch as well. And we talked about earlier, it's usually that happened last time. The bottom of that lineup got the spark going. So we'll see if Antion can do something here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Was that 3rd inning that was so big for the Cyclones, all 5 runs in their 5-2 victory. And we have a deep hit, but unfortunately right to center fielder Jordan Bettiol. She's able to drag that in for the first out.
It was nice contact by Antion. Just a little too much under it. Right to Betty All, and a nice play. And for the first out of the bottom of the third for the Cyclones. So up next, we will have catcher Sammy Hildreth.
Hildreth again, bottom of the lineup. Her average doesn't really show it, but she's been doing a nice job stepping in mid-season for another injured player. And so now she's here and doing her job well behind the plate and at the plate. Both things are pretty tough. And I think my favorite at-bat situations are always catchers and pitchers in the box, because those are the two people who know the strike zone the best. So, I think as a pitcher, it's got to be tough to try and strike out a pitcher or a catcher, because other than yourself, they know the most. And so we do have a short conference here with Moore and Belshi in the circle with pitching coach, just kind of bring things all together, just take a moment. So
must have been something with that pitch just to come out and talk to her about it. Just, she just retired, Nicole Antion, and first pitch ball, I don't know what it might be, but we'll see what happens with the first pitch after that little meeting they had there in the circle.
Probably just checking in, making sure things are good. Maybe she came off the injury, any injuries, or I don't know. She's been pitching a lot in these most recent games, so this might be more than experience and time than she's seen in a while.
And for our first pitch after that meeting is a ball in the dirt for a 2-0 count for Sammy Hildreth of the Cyclones. Hildreth showing. Here comes the windup in the pitch. She pulls back and takes ball 3.
These pitches have shown to be a little wild. They're fast. They've got some good velocity on it, but there's a couple that seem to have gotten away from Moore, and she seems to be struggling a little bit to hit her spots, but we'll see if she buckles in here.
Here comes that 3-0 delivery, and perfect pitch for a strike. Gotta assume Hildreth was had that red light, because, as you mentioned, the wild pitches, from Moore, a couple in the dirt and then one up high. We'll see how she approaches this 3-1 delivery. And she will take a walk. Sammy Hildreth works her way to get on first base. And we will move to the top of the lineup with Brittany Gomez. Not exactly a very identical situation, but she does have a runner on base, much like she did at the top of the third, the bottom of the third in the first game where she had that grand slam.
Yep, it definitely is a time when a slapper is very effective. Hildreth has some speed. That's why she is number 9 hitter. So we'll see if Gomez is able to move her around as well as get herself on base.
Just misses inside that left field line.
Good connection. So Gomez is starting to get her timing down, get an awareness with Moore here. So we'll see if she can make it effective. Gomez, as we've mentioned, her junior season has been tracking down a lot of records, and this is just her junior season. Do not forget, we still have a whole other year of Brittany Gomez. Thank goodness.
She takes ball 1 to move the count to 1-1 with Hildreth on first. Cyclones down 0-1 in the bottom of the third with 1 out. You mentioned this year she broke the all hits record. Last year her freshman year was a stolen base record, so she has no problem surpassing records in the out-of-state record, because she gets a high chop at her third, and with that speed, beats out the throw to first base. You touched on her speed. That high chopper you mentioned, when they chop it, it gives her a lot of time to make that run to first.
Exactly. You watch, she just drives it straight into the ground, and it goes way up high, and so third baseman Ashley Foltz has to wait for it to bring it in, and that gives Gomez enough time. So we have runners on first and second, 1 out, and Kathleen Bingham up. So Bingham will hopefully be able to move these Cyclones, even score them, and then Allie Capper will also have a shot. So good point in the Cyclone lineup to be effective. And earlier in the season, the Cyclones did struggle with leaving base runners on. You'd get down with games and you'd see runners left on base. Those stats would be pretty high, but of late, Cyclones have been able to bring that number back down and to a point where it's really showing that their hits are being effective and they're moving those runners. So home plate umpire comes out and says, let's get this game rolling. It is nice to have some sunshine here.
You're telling me. You got the nice sun coming out on my side of the window. Beautiful. Turning out to be a beautiful day. All that talks about rain. Luckily, not even a drop. Cyclones are able to get in their doubleheader, which is nice. So up next, like you said, we do have Bingham, the left fielder for the Cyclones, taking her first pitch of her second at-bat of the day. And she will swing on a miss for strike 1. So what do you what is her mentality here with just one out, runners on first and second? What's her mentality here down one?
Get it on the ground.
Just make contact, get on the ground?
Get on the ground. You don't want to fly ball. You don't want to double out a chance at a double play because with the speed you have on base, it's really most effective when they can just run. And so here with runners on first and second, she wants to move them so that bases are either loaded or there are runners on second and third for Kappert. So ideally, it's going to be on the ground and hopefully to a gap.
Absolutely. Here comes the 1-1 delivery from Moore. And she takes it foul to move the count to 1-2. Bingham so far her day. The first game she had a 6-3 play, a strikeout, another ground out, and then she flew out earlier to the third base. Here comes that 1-2 delivery, and she takes it.
And she gets the base. Looks like a shoulder, potentially?
Possibly. We'll see here on the replay here shortly, but
another wild pitch for Moore. I feel like she either hits the zone or misses wildly. Ooh, elbow and then a residual bounce off the cage. There is a reason why there is an elbow guard here, and so hopefully Bingham's going to be okay. We have some trainers looking at it.
Looking at her fingers, too.
Even a forearm. I think we're all good, just checking down the arm to make sure everything's okay.
Has feeling in every part. That's good.
From personal experience, softball rise balls are fast enough to break an arm.
Oh, wow.
I had my arm fractured on my senior night of high school by a pitch, and so that's something that it's always good to double check that
so your senior night was one to remember in the wrong way.
Inside rise ball went a little wonky, so we might be having a pitching change, and we do. So while this pitching change happened, we're going to just take a quick break and be right back with the next Cyclone batter.
Four-wheel steering is why I get up in the morning.
The only thing better than the smell of fresh-cut grass is the smell of perfectly level, fresh-cut grass.
That yellow seat's my favorite chair.
You want to find a John Deere dealer? Just set your GPS to Tractor Experts.
When my grandson grows up, it's his, but it's all mine now.
That's how we run, and nothing runs like a Deere.
Van Wall is proud to be your dealer of choice. Find a location online at vanwall.com.
I am a helpful smile. I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
Welcome back after a short break for the pitching change. Moore has left the circle, and back in is Kara Custer. We saw her do a really effective job in 6 innings. 6 of her 7 were really quite great pitching, so looks like they're going to continue on that success. She had the 1 inning where the Cyclones had the 2 home runs, but other than that, she pretty much retired the Cyclones straight. So she will be facing Allie Kappert yet again. So Cyclones in Game 2 see a pitcher they've already seen a couple times before, so we'll see if they're able to make something of that.
Kappert right away aggressive, hits it to the second base, and the throw down to home. Gets in time to get that lead runner out at home. Good play awareness by Hobson there at second to throw home for that force out. As you see here at Kappert, high chopper to second base. She's running. Nice throw to first by the Raiders. Good awareness by Hobson.
Yep, and Hildreth does a nice job, though, disrupting the catcher's feet. As a catcher, she knows probably what it takes to try and get that next throw off. She does a nice job making the slide in there difficult. So bases are loaded with 2 outs for Lexi Slater.
First pitch she takes for a strike. If you look at the first game Lexi Slater had against against Custer, her first at bat was an unassisted play by the first baseman, and then her home run in the 3rd inning against Custer. So we'll see what she does here with this pitch. And she takes it down the first baseline for a foul ball to move the count to 0-2.
Cyclone is definitely being aggressive at the plate. They're not waiting until they have a strike or until the count's in their favor. So they're really going right after that. And I think that's a nice thing for this Cyclone hitter's mentality, where they know they have the green light at the plate and they know they can just go up there and take a swing.
And Lexi Slater swing on and miss, but a drop third strike will bring in Brittany Gomez.
So now the Cyclones have been able to tie things up. And, you know, the situation kind of happened to the Cyclones in the first game. So always good to make use of some disruption and not a typical run situation. So now we'll be seeing Maddie Reese.
As you see, they're just in the dirt. Nothing much the catcher could have done. Possibly slid over a little more. I know as a catcher, you always want to be in front of the ball, not try to stab at it. She really could have put her body more in front if she really chose to. But good job by Lexi Slater to run out that drop third strike.
Gomez, too, to be aware of being able to take off and make the most of that, because even a drop third could really just freeze her at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Veteran move for just a junior. And here we go with Maddie Reese. Swung on, fouled back into the netting to move the count to 1-1. Still bases loaded. Iowa State has tied it up now at 1-1 in the bottom of the third with 2 outs.
Custer back in the mound for this third inning. She did pitch all 7 of the first.
Maddie Reese skies one. Third base has a beat on it, and Fultz is there to bring it in. Cyclones leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the third, but we will move to the top of the fourth. Now tied at 1.
Four-wheel steering is why I get up in the morning.
The only thing better than the smell of fresh cut grass is the smell of perfectly level, fresh cut grass.
That yellow seat's my favorite chair.
You want to find a John Deere dealer? Just set your GPS to Tractor Experts.
When my grandson grows up, it's his, but it's all mine now.
That's how we run, and nothing runs like a Deere.
Van Wall is proud to be your dealer of choice. Find a location online at vanwall.com.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
Welcome back. We move here to the top of the fourth. Weilbacher will be facing Hobson, Miles, and Fultz. So the most dangerous part of the Texas Red Raider offense will get their second chance at Weilbacher here. They were effective and able to score a run in the second inning. Cyclones got it back last inning, so let's see if they continue to trade runs for a little bit here. Again, the most RBIs are combined in this heart of this Red Raider lineup, so this is a really dangerous part. So if Weilbacher can move through this pretty effectively, that'll be a good confidence boost for her and the defense and even the offense going in to the next inning for them at bat. With even a tie is just even better than having to always feel like you're making up those runs.
Yeah, we're picking up basically where it started in the second inning when Leah Hobson got a single and eventually came around to score for the Red Raiders. Lone run so far this game, so we'll see what she does with this at bat. And she lines one just over Lexi Slater's head for a single, rounds first, but will stay complacent with first. Almost got him on the throw to first, but again, just like last time, Leah Hobson in the second inning, she leads off for the Red Raiders here in the fourth with a single.
And that single, you know, nice hit. I mean, not the most nicely hit ball, but kind of the Bermuda Triangle, the outfield, where it's
that's the worst.
That spot is just, it's not the nicest hit. It makes things hard for those outfielders, but nice heads up play by the Cyclones to get that. And now we have Miles. Again, great first game, great on the base paths, definitely a threat. Always looking to add to more triples and more doubles. So hopefully Weilbacher can be effective here. She was able to strike her out in her first matchup.
See what she does here with this 0-1 pitch. Pops up, bunt up, and would you look at that? Nice move by Spendlove. On her toes, saw the bunt show. She was charging forward, and she was in that position for a bunt that was popped up by Miles for the first out of the fourth inning.
Nice job by Weilbacher to throw a pitch that, you know, was a little high and forced her to keep that up, and that's on a bunt, that's probably one of the worst things you do. You
Yeah.
don't even get to advance a runner. So now we're seeing Fultz with a runner on first and 1 out.
Foul tip there for the first strike of this at bat. So we'll see if Leah Hobson is active on those base pads. She has 9 steals on the season on 12 attempts. So
she had one earlier too.
Yep.
The throw just wasn't in time. So again, always a threat.
Showing bunt brings it back, and loose
Strike.
as she went. So moving that count to 0-2. Very in favor of Weilbacher here on this next pitch.
Weilbacher's been doing a nice job. At first, her at-bats against these Red Raiders weren't looking the greatest, but now she's got them swinging and she's got them missing. So that's definitely key for her. You know, Weilbacher isn't the biggest strikeout pitcher, but she, again, is doing her job in the mound and just throwing great pitches, working the zone, and keeping those Red Raiders on their toes.
And you talk about, and she's doing it at a great time in this heart of the lineup that you said produces the most runs for the Red Raiders. So here comes that 0-2 delivery by Weilbacher. Swung on and miss. That was a great 0-2 pitch. Strikes out Fultz for the second out of the inning. So really, after allowing Leah Hobson on base, Weilbacher in that circle, calm, cool, collected.
Yep, it's that higher pitch that worked well for Roggentin. You know, if you have an effective rise ball, oh man, can you fool some batters? And first game, we saw the Red Raiders weren't able to hold off of that when Roggentin was throwing it. And now, same is showing true. So now we have Susan Welburn in the box.
Susan Welborn, her first time at bat in the second inning, did have a single that brought around Leah Hobson for the 1 run for the Red Raiders. So here comes that 0-1 delivery. Swung on and just over the fence and that foul fence pole, the foul fence down there on the left side of the field. So again, Weilbacher being aggressive right out of the bat, making the Red Raiders, go to work there in the box, and it's working for her, moving Welburn to an 0-2 count here. And pitch in, swung on and miss again by Welburn. Second strikeout of the inning for Weilbacher. So we will move to the bottom of the 4th, still tied 1-1.
Education is the key to solving issues for the future. 10 universities are committed to making dynamic change in STEM and research. At Iowa State University, plant scientists and engineers are designing crops that tolerate climate change, produce bigger yields, and feed more people. Working together to develop smart plants, Iowa State researchers are discovering new science to help meet one of the world's greatest challenges, a plentiful, safe, nutritious food supply. Big 12, making a difference.
Keeping the people in this building comfortable is a top priority for us.
And Mid-American Energy can help.
40% of our energy bill was just keeping the lights on. Then we switched to energy-efficient lighting and bought new uniforms instead.
With new efficient appliances, I'm saving money on my energy and water bills.
And the money we save each month moving and drying this grain is easy to handle.
Regardless of size, Mid-American Energy can help improve your business's bottom line. The power is in your hands with Mid-American Energy.
Welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex as we are still tied at 1 apiece here, heading into the bottom of the 4th with Spendlove leading off for the Cyclones, followed by, as you see, McFarland and Antion in the 8th position. So we'll see what Spendlove, what Spendlove can do here this time around.
Again, we were just saying the weather's so nice. This game's moving along perfectly. It's gotten a little windier. Flags are starting to whip around a little bit more than they had earlier, so it's blowing from right field to left field. So we'll see if that affects any fly balls that get up in the atmosphere.
The 1-0 delivery is taken for another ball to move the count to 2-0 in favor of Spendlove. Here, you mentioned Custer. She had besides those 2 home runs she gave us, she had a great game that first game. So I'm thinking that's what Gregory thought. Why not bring her in? Hopefully have the same luck as she does there. Makes her swing on and miss on an off-speed pitch to move the count to 2-1.
Yep. If your pitcher is throwing lights out and still feels healthy and still can keep throwing and keep going. They still have another game tomorrow, so might as well expend Custer while she's on a high point. even though that was a loss, and even though there were those 2 home runs, I think Custer can still chalk that game up to be one of her better pitched games. You just remove that 1 inning, and that's a lights-out game for her.
You take away 2 pitches that were taken for home runs, and she had a pretty spectacular game. So here comes that 2-2 delivery. Swung on down the first base line for foul ball. Almost got there in time for the tag out, but Spenlove will have another crack at it inside the box.
It's kind of a half swing there. I feel like Spenlove wouldn't have liked to end her at bat on that swing. So luckily,
kind of didn't make up her mind.
Yeah, luckily she gets another shot.
Right, here comes that 2-2 delivery by Custer, and swung on, and nice catch there by Hobson there at second base.
Able to trap that in her glove before it hit the ground and record that out without having to make a throw. So very nice job of retiring Spenlove.
Up next, as you see there, nice catch, just gets it before it hits the ground. Great play by Hobson. So she's been having a great defensive day overall. So up next we do have Kelsey McFarland.
McFarland did hit to Hobson in her last at bat, so Hobson should still be on her toes, and swinging on that first pitch kind of bobbles around up in Custer's face, but she's still able to get the throw and the out. So now we move to 2 outs and Nicole Antion.
Yeah, that was a funky play, but you see Iowa State being aggressive right away. First pitch swinging, and you talked about that's what they've been doing all day. You see her, she will put it right back to Custer, and kind of doesn't feel the cleaning, gets a lucky bounce right back in basically her glove, able to get it out of her glove and get that second out of the bottom of the 4th. So up next, you did say, is Nicole Antion, who does take a strike there to move the count to 0-1.
Custer did a nice job of following her throw to first base. Sometimes it's easy as a pitcher to get all panicked when you feel the ball and make a crazy throw, but she kept her composure, and nice little blooper right over third base. We'll put Antion on base. That just dropped, had enough velocity where no one could really get there, and enough height where no one could really jump up and get it. So now we have our first base runner, though, with 2 outs, and we'll see Sammy Hildreth will be up to bat. Just kind of a little blooper on the end of the bat. Placed it nicely. Again, another Bermuda Triangle in the outfield.
We're not trying to beat a dead drum, but again, this bottom of the lineup, someone last inning, Hildreth, who was up to bat now, was able to draw a walk, and Gomez was able to get a single and come around and score. But it's this bottom of the lineup that gets this offense going. And here you see it again in the 8th position, Antion getting a single and bringing up Hildreth, who earned a walk the last time at bat and is looking to get actual hit. She just lasers one over out of play there on the left side. So,
and it's good that the bottom of this lineup is hitting well, because sometimes a team can easily rely on that 3, 4, 5 part of the lineup to really do all the hitting, and if those go into a slump, you can't lose your entire offense just because 3 players aren't hitting as well. And so it's a good job that these other hitters have internalized this and just used their momentum and just kept hitting, and so that's keeping this Cyclone defense alive, and offense, excuse me.
Absolutely. All right, here comes Custer with the windup for this 1-2 delivery. And a little low again, moving it to 2-2. The last 2 balls that Hildreth has taken. Pitcher held it there a little longer than usual, expecting that strike call, but Blue knows what he's looking for, and it didn't meet his expectations. So
yep, Hildreth thought about swinging, but she didn't.
And there she swings on that one to deep left and off the wall.
Antion's going to go into third, safe. Nice
hit by Sammy Hildreth. Almost cleared the wall, but overall, great hit.
Yeah, it just not too far from that foul line. Just enough where left fielder Susan Welburn couldn't reach across her body, couldn't get that jump all the way to make it there. That advances Antion to third, and Hildreth is able to get around to second on that, and that brings up the top of the lineup with Brittany Gomez. So we know.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, sounds very familiar. We know she can be effective standing and hitting and slapping. So we'll see what she chooses to do. I feel like she's going to stand in there and hit. With 2 outs and tied up at 1, so we'll see what she chooses to do. Ideally, she'll hit one up first base line and really get both those runs around, but a base hit will score a run since there are 2 outs and runners can move on the hit.
Here comes that first pitch, and like you said, she is just going to stand in there and try to make contact, much like she did when she hit that grand slam. But Ball a little outside. We'll take that first pitch for a ball to move the count to 1-0. Runners on second and third. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. And again, another outside pitch. Not anywhere close to that strike zone. So Custer maybe getting a little wild here, as of late. So we'll see what this, third delivery does for her in this 2-0 count.
I think she's also just trying to stay away from Gomez's bat.
She knows Gomez has a number on her from earlier and has that confidence. Anytime you can get something on a pitcher, you're always going to remember that, and that's always going to be your confidence.
Yeah, definitely a mental thing for both the people involved.
And she lines one down the third base line and foul. Just barely.
Antion had to do a quick little skip there to get out of the way. Hopefully she was in foul territory if it did hit her.
I think the third baseman over there, Fultz, was trying to say that it did hit her, but
yeah.
Who knows? Here comes that 2-2 delivery to Gomez. Swung on and fouled off.
Gomez is doing a nice job where it's not something she particularly likes all that much, but she's able to stay alive and hopefully force Custer to come at her with something she actually likes.
Comes another 2-2 pitch. Taken to left field. Got enough hang time for left fielder Wilborn to get to it to end this inning of the fourth. So we will move to the top of the fifth. Cyclones leave 2 runners stranded, still tied at 1.
The Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. It's more than a game. It's Cyclones and Hawkeyes in 9 thrilling athletic showdowns. It's student athletes in the classroom and on the court. It's stadiums in the spotlight and the fields that make our state great. Welcome to the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. It's more than a game. Track the tradition. Visit IowaCornCyHawkSeries.com.
Welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex. We'll see 8, 9, and 1 batters for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. We're at the top of the 5th, all tied up. Other than 1 run apiece, it's been kind of a quiet game for base runners. Base runners have been getting on for both teams. Cyclones have left far too many runners stranded. But both teams are getting their bats on the balls. No one's really made too effective of hits. They've been good hits, but they've been right at people and fieldable. So Weilbacher is, though, on a bit of a roll. She struck out 2 of the 4 batters she faced in this last inning. She's got a couple strikeouts on the day, so hopefully she can continue this momentum as she faces Brittany Warnke first. The first baseman in her first at-bat had a fly out to Brittany Gomez, so we'll see what she does here now.
And I think for this game, it's going to decide who can, unfortunately, as you see here, the ball goes to Lexi Slater, the throw over to first for the first out of the 5th inning. But as I was saying, I think it's going to come down to who can actually capitalize on, it's one thing to get base runners, it's another thing to get them across the home plate. We were just talking about that during the break. Who can actually move those base runners home? As you saw, the Cyclones left 2 on second and third that last inning. Very crucial for the Cyclones. So we'll look at that going forward. So
we have Brooke Scott here now. But I agree with you, Alan. I think the Cyclones' first game probably actually didn't do a super effective job of bringing runners in. It just helped that the runs were scored on home runs. So
yeah.
Cyclones can't count on home runs all the time, even though we've had 7 so far in this past week.
Yeah, it's great to be able to hit those home runs, but you can't rely on those to always bring in the runs. You got to be able to move them around, whether it's small ball, whether it's just putting the ball in gaps. So, all right, so Brooke Scott, last time at bat, she was able to draw a walk, as you see here, and we'll be taking a 1-1 pitch for a ball to move the count to 2-2. We are still tied at 1-1, top of the 5th, and 1 out here in the inning.
Weilbacher's been doing a nice job. Again, she started off the game just doing her job, making the having her defense help her out. She, again, very smart in that way. She's also started to record some strikeouts. She did record those strikeouts in the heart of the Red Raider lineup. So you see those 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits. You know, the hits for all the teams, both teams, have not been able to really get any momentum. I would not say there's any one team that has all the momentum this game.
She hits one over to Lexi Slater, fields it cleanly, and makes a throw over to Spendlove for the second out of the game. Again, Lexi Slater gotta always be on her toes. Seems like everything is going her way this last game and this game as well.
I'm looking at my score sheet.
I have a lot of 6-3s.
Yep.
It's getting up there right now.
And especially no E6s. So
yes,
that's always key, is that, you know, if it comes to Lexi Slater, she's not letting it get by her. And that's always good to see.
As we have Jordan Bettiol up for the Red Raiders. Last time out, she went down looking, and then her first at-bat in the first inning. Again, another 6-3 from Lexi Slater. So we'll see what Jordan Bettiol does with this 1-0 delivery from Weilbacher. And she takes strike 1 on the outside and move the count to 1-1.
Weilbacher has a nice breaking ball. She can make it either break. Bettiol's a left-handed batter, so she can make it break in towards her or away from her. And so that really mixes up what batters see. She can really paint that outside corner. Woo!
Wow. Moves the count to, what I was trying to say, for the last pitch, moves it to 1-2 in favor of Weilbacher. It seems like she's really settling in. She has 4 strikeouts so far in this game, hoping to collect her 5th one with this 1-2 delivery. And just misses that outside corner like that you talked about, that she's really good at painting this game.
I think another key stat for both the Cyclone pitchers is the limited number of walks, knock on wood, that we've seen so far, because those are, that's a free base. And with a speedy and a lineup like you see in Texas Tech, they will make you hurt for those free bases, and that's, you just don't want to give those away. And so far today, the Cyclones have done a nice job minimizing those.
And you do see, I can't see how far, but you do see some action in the bullpen of the Cyclones. So we'll see. We'll pay attention to that moving forward. But as of right now, we're going to pay attention to Weilbacher, who's actually pitching a very great game right now through 4 2/3 innings. Here comes her 2-2 delivery, and swung on. Fly ball into foul territory, but Spendlove is there to record the final out in the top of the 5th. We will move to the bottom of the 5th with Bingham, Capper, and Slater.
Anyone can get service in town, but US Cellular offers 4G LTE where you just wouldn't expect it. So you can watch your shows. Way out here! Stream your music. Way out here! Or check Facebook. Way out here. Pretty awesome, huh? With US Cellular, now the middle of nowhere is the middle of anywhere.
Be greater than you imagine at the Iowa State University College of Engineering.
Welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex for the second game of the doubleheader today, with the score still tied at 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th with what I said before the break, with Bingham leading off in the 2 slot, Capper in the 3 spot, and Slater in the cleanup position.
This is really an important time for the Cyclones to use those base runners. If base runners get on, if they don't straighten them, the Cyclones will be in good shape. This is a key part of the lineup that is speedy and hard hitting.
Absolutely. And look like a foul tip there.
Might have even hit off Belshie. Just kind of checking her shoulder real quick.
Either way, it is still strike 1 for the at-bat for Bingham, as she got hit by a pitch the last time out. So we'll see how she approaches this this at bat. And looks like to be a strike on the outside corner to move the count to 0-2 on Bingham. Here comes that 0-2 delivery, and little 2 inside for the umpire's liking as the count moves to 1-2 here on Bingham. Bingham so far today just having a tough outing today. She went 0 for 3 with a strikeout in the first game, and so far flew out to the shortstop and then a hit by a pitch 2 innings ago. So we'll see how she handles this at bat, moving the count to 2-2 with that pitch to the outside. Comes that 2-2 delivery. She puts the bat on it, but really not much she could do. You know, basically already moving towards first base. Pitch on the outside. All she could really do is foul that off.
Yep. Bingham sets up. Her heels are pretty close to that actually outside of the box. She is not a plate crowder, but I think that also is how she can get the end of the bat on the outside pitches and up
just like that. There you go.
Through the gap, and that's what you want to do as a slapper. She almost doesn't want to get the meat of the bat on that outside pitch. You want to poke it through, you bounce it. So that is why she's a little bit further off, and it shows off to be effective. So we'll see here. See, she starts a little bit further back off the end of the bat, just right through that gap.
And up next is Allie Capper, who is having a decent game for her. 2 for 2 with 2 singles so far, hoping to move around Bingham here on the base pads.
They've been a little bit choppier hits. She can hit it pretty hard, but these haven't had the usual velocity. And there's that usual velocity. One bouncer. They'll try and get her at second, but no shot. Now, Bingham thought about it. She could have. She was threatening, but
she was threatening, but good thing for Texas Tech having Wellborn there to back that throw up. Otherwise, she could have advanced. So great move there by Wellborn there in left field. So again, Allie Capper, another single.
Very smart, probably of Bingham to stay. It's not about pushing the envelope. The Cyclones just need runners across the plate. And so now the Cyclones have their runners on. Let's hope they don't strand them. They're in a good situation with no outs and Lexi Slater up to bat. Lexi Slater, home run earlier. She's had a home run earlier this week. She's on a roll, and doesn't have to hit a home run to be effective. That's what the Cyclones need to keep in mind. Is that it does not have to be a home run.
But that swing was very similar to the swing that she took when she had that home run. You can tell she has something in mind, but for her, there's no outs. It's not the bottom of the 7th. You got runners on first and second. All you got to do is try to put it in play and advance some runners on the base pad. So
down 0-1. She'll get the pitch from Custer, who did pitch the first game. A little high.
A little high. She'll take that ball to move it to a 1-1 count here in the bottom of the 5th. Still runners on first and second and no outs.
This is really a big go time for the Cyclones. Bottom of the 5th, they'll have, after this inning, 2 more at-bats. They want to make the most of this late in the game.
And Lexi takes one down the third base line and foul. Very close call there by the Blue, but he was right on top of that, made the correct call.
Bingham was ready to come all the way home. There was no stopping her. She was already rounding third base by the time the ump called it foul. You really want Lexi Slater to either hit it hard on the ground or hit it where it's in a gap so that the runners have to take off and don't have to worry about tagging.
Absolutely. Here's that 1-2 delivery. She lines one again down the left field line. Just foul, and if that was fair, she might have been looking at her second home run of the evening.
Slater's got a great swing where it's short to the zone and then long through. So she gets that explosive power. The ball comes off the bat really fast, but then she also finishes that swing and really gets some power behind it.
That 1-2 delivery. Sends her hands, puts it in the gap in the right center field, but the right fielder in Miles was able to come away with that catch to give the Red Raiders the first out of the inning. The runners do not advance, so we still have runners on first and second with Maddie Reese coming up to bat.
Hit to right field isn't too bad in a situation where you want to advance your runners to second and third, but unfortunately, Miles is moving forward. So it would have been an easy move through and throw to third base. That kept Bingham stranded at second and Capper at stranded as first as well. So just one out, so still time for the Cyclones to capitalize on the base runners.
And pitch outside for Maddie Reese, taken for a ball here.
Like I said at her last at bat, Reese has had some very well-timed hits. She's had a couple game-winning runs, home runs especially. So, again, she can come in clutch. Let's see if she does in this at bat.
And there's a foul ball there off the netting behind home plate to move the count to 1-1. Again, Maddie Reese, you talk about she comes through in clutch, in clutch situations. Today she's kind of having, just a very quiet day. 0 for 3 in that first game, and so far 0 for 2 this game. So here's that 1-1 delivery, and a little high. So moving the count to 2-1 with runners still on first and second.
A lot of Reese's power comes from her compact swing. Watch, she starts her hands. Her elbows are really close together. They're really close to her ear. She's got a compact but very powerful swing.
And takes ball 3 inside, move the count to 3-1 with runners on first and second. Here in the bottom of the fifth with the score still tied at 1 apiece. We'll see what Custer goes with here. If she goes with an off-speed pitch, 3-1, or what she does here with this 3-1 delivery. And it is strike 2 on the outside corner. So 3-2 count here with 1 out in the bottom of the fifth for Maddie Reese, the second baseman for the Cyclones. She calls for time.
There's no pitch time limit, but softball does move along at a pretty decent clip.
Yep.
So when things slow down a little bit, it gets a little odd, and you got to restart and keep things moving.
Not used to being in that box for so long. But when she swings on and skies one over to the shortstop for the second out of this inning. And again, with it going to the shortstop, the runners were able to advance.
Yep, that was probably not the best pitch to hit, but Custer did a nice job of forcing her to swing at that. And Custer has also been doing a nice job of making sure the Cyclones' hits haven't been. There's been a few really good power hits sprinkled in there, but overall Cyclones' hits haven't been able to make a gap, make a really hard impact. So Custer, this is her 9th inning, I believe, of pitching. So she's not showing any signs of stopping, and the Cyclones still haven't, despite the 2 home runs, gotten her number consistently. They've gotten it a couple times, but not all the time. So Custer's doing a nice job for the Red Raiders.
Here's that 1-0 delivery outside to move the count to 2-0. I mean, like you said, besides those home runs, a couple singles here and there, but after those couples, getting runners on base, Iowa State hasn't been able to move them around, much like the last inning when they left runners stranded on second and third. So here's that 2-0 delivery. She swings on over to the foul line on the left side, and the third baseman in Fultz is able to collect that to leave 2 runners stranded for Iowa State. We will move to the top of the 6th with the score still tied at 1.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
This is where crisp, smooth, refreshing Bud Light happens. But it is right here that it becomes an invitation. Making this not only 12 ounces of refreshment, but also 12 ounces of inspiration. To be more up for whatever than ever.
Bud Light.
The perfect beer for reading and unleashing a whole world of whatever in the name of a ridiculously good time. If you're up for whatever, look for your message on Bud Light bottles. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Welcome back. You're seeing another thrilling round of some loopy ball.
Left field won again.
Look at left field. Left field is on a roll right now.
I mean, I know they're supposed to be the same distance, but maybe it's a little shorter for them. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe we should talk them into letting us do this tomorrow or something.
Do our on-field interview as that. And don't forget, Alan will have the on-field interview with head coach Stacey Gemeinhart-Sessler after the game. Maybe if he does it in the loopy ball, I think that'd be pretty entertaining, personally.
I mean, don't. We'll work on that. I'll try to get in there. If I'm not in there, you know it's not my fault because I will volunteer for that.
Hold the mic out the top of it.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work. So, all right, we do move to the top of the 6 for the Texas Tech Lady Raiders. And it looks like we will start off with Tomi for the Red Raiders, the designated hitter.
Again, threatening part of the Red Raider lineup. Lots of RBIs, lots of hits, and lots of speed. So Weilbacher put in a tough situation. Cyclones were not able to capitalize on the past 2 innings with runners left on base. So Cyclones have had ample opportunity. Luckily, Weilbacher has done a nice job of keeping, in these past couple innings, the Red Raiders off the bases. Only about 1 runner per inning, and none of them have really been able to cross. So that's good news for the Cyclone defense now. It's just going to be on the Cyclone offense.
Defense has been there most of this game. So it's really a part of that offense is doing their job of putting runners in position. It's the person who's at the plate to move them around, to get them in scoring position. So
Cyclones are being aggressive at the plate, but they just haven't been effective. And Red Raiders as well. They haven't had too many back-to-back nice hits. It hasn't been a single, then a bunt, then moving someone around. It's been a single and a couple hectic plays have helped score runs for both teams. So definitely not your traditional
softball game.
Yeah.
Not your traditional way to score some runs. So,
but still effective because runs scored or runs scored.
And she takes that 2-1 pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Move that count to 2-2. Tomi reached earlier on a fielder's choice and then grounded out for a 4-3 play. Here comes that 2-2 delivery by Weilbacher and swung on and fouled off. Could this be the start of another marathon at bat?
It's not Warneke, so maybe not.
Hopefully not. So
hopefully we don't run out of softballs.
I'm pretty sure if there's probably 2 more foul balls we might have last time. So here comes that 2-2 delivery. Swung on down the first base line, just foul. Otherwise, Spenlove would have been there to step on first base for the out. So we will have a third 2-2 pitch underway here very shortly. Here comes that pitch, and plunks her right in the elbow. Unfortunate for Weilbacher, had that 2-2 advantage, had her foul off too, kind of had her on the ropes, but unfortunate.
There is a good reason why a lot of lefties wear that elbow guard. Woo! Coming, those high pitches, rise balls are easy to get away from a pitcher, and on a lefty, they will definitely stand a pretty high likely chance of hitting them. So Tomi's probably pretty glad she has that elbow guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we see Belshi. So again, heart of this Red Raider lineup. Weilbacher's done a nice job of buckling down and really getting down to business with base runners on or without. So hopefully she can continue doing a nice job of not letting one error compound into another 4.
Comes that 1-0 delivery to Belshi. Fielded by Weilbacher, thrown to Lexi Slater. Over for a double play. Just not in time. But the Cyclones were able to get the lead runner in Tomi for the first out of the inning. Good play, though, by Weilbacher of her awareness to make that throw to second.
Yep. Able to snag that, make this quick turn. Lexi Slater was there again on another lovely play to help get the out.
Up next is Leah Hobson, who has had Weilbacher's number today. Has 2 singles and a scored run. And she takes ball 1 inside.
Think of all the batters to have Weilbacher's number today. It's so far been Hobson, and she is, like we've pointed out again and again, comes in clutch for the Red Raiders to get those RBIs when they need them most.
We'll see if she comes through here for the Red Raiders on this 1-0 delivery. And she'll take ball 2 on the outside, making Weilbacher come to her, not really playing into Weilbacher's hand here with trying to pitch inside then trying to pitch outside. So we'll see what Belshi does here also on the base pads.
Mm-hmm.
Has 8 stolen bases on 15 attempts so far this year. Here comes that 2-0 delivery, and looks like fouled off. For a second, it looked like maybe it might have hit her, but foul ball is the call. Leah Hobson showing bunt. More than likely pull back.
Yep.
As she does. And swing on, skied behind Lexi Slater. Looks like Brittany Gomez has a beat on it and collects it for the second out of the inning for the Cyclones.
That is in that kind of no man's land in left center, but luckily that had a lot of height on it. Just off the top of her bat, really skied up there. Gave Gomez probably had one of the longer runs, but she was able to get there first and get
She's
underneath
fast.
it. Yep.
Speaking of speed, Kiera Miles coming up to bat for the Red Raiders.
So really be a confidence boost if Weilbacher can put Kiera up to 0 for 3 on the day. She has a strikeout and a flyout. So Weilbacher so far gotten the best of Kiera Miles where Roggentin and Immels really weren't. And so this is really key.
As she fouls one back to move the count to 1-1. Yeah, Kiera Miles that first game, she did have a walk, and then she drew 2 walks and then had a double in the 4th and then a double on the 6th. So she got a hit on both pitchers that first game. So when she skies one again, foul, looks like it's going to be over the fence. Yep, out of the reach of Bingham there in left field.
I think Miles is also kind of a spark for the Red Raiders. She seems like an energetic person. You know, she got on base. She got that double in game 1 and was applauding and cheering her team on. So I think if the Cyclones are able to kind of eliminate the
Energizer Bunny,
yeah, she's a big energizer. So it's definitely, again, a key at bat.
1-2 pitch, and she'll take ball 2 high to move the count to 2-2 with a runner in Christy Belshi on first with 2 outs in the top of the 6th, still tied at 1.
It's a good two-strike pitch. If she does hit it, it's not a great hit. If she does swing, she'll probably miss it.
And again, pitch up high for ball number 3, move the count to a full count with 2 outs, which, as everybody knows, Belshi will be on the move on the pitch. So, and you notice that pitch guy, I know it doesn't really matter, but, you know, that first game, Roggentin was up in the hundreds, you know, around this time. So it's good to see Weilbacher take to keep that pitch count down, which it's not a big thing, but no matter what, it's always nice to keep that pitch count down. So there, Kiera Miles fouls one off again to live to fight another day. We'll see what she does here with the second delivery of a 3-2 count. Here comes that second 3-2 delivery, and she takes ball 4 as she earns her way to that base pad. And we'll bring up next Ashley Foltz.
Up until this inning, Weilbacher done a nice job on minimizing free bases, but with a hit by a pitch and a walk, that's 2 free base runners. Luckily, there are 2 outs, so hopefully the Cyclone defense can help out Weilbacher. She needs to just readjust to where she was earlier in the game and just focus on, letting her defense do a lot of the work for her.
And she was successful with that at the beginning of the game.
She's got a very senior defense behind her. You got Maddie Reese at second base, senior. Lexi Slater, senior. Jordan Spenlove, senior. And then Antion, she may be young, but she's been doing a knockout job at third base. So, 3 out of the 4 people directly behind you are seniors. And so they can control the situation quite well.
Absolutely. And you have a very speedy Gomez there in center field as well. Here comes Ashley Foltz's delivery and taken for a ball just outside.
It's really important for Weilbacher here not to get rattled.
Absolutely.
Maybe that she might have gotten that call earlier in the game. She might not have, but she just needs to make sure she buckles down, focuses in, and throws those pitches that are effective. Texas Tech has started to lay off the rise ball.
And she lines one foul down the left field line. Moving the count to 1-1 with still 2 outs in the top of the 6th with runners on first and second. Game still tied at 1.
Again, as you mentioned, Weilbacher has done a nice job of keeping that pitch count down low. It does also say Texas Texas Tech has been more aggressive at the plate. We see another swing, a really high fly out to Bingham in left field, and she's able to pull that in for the third out of the inning. So again, Cyclones are able to get out of a base runner situation. So we'll see if in their half of the inning they can actually score some base runners. We'll be right back.
I've got a to-do list and 5 acres of fresh air.
Top 3 tools: hammer, screwdriver, front loader.
Happiness is a drive over mower deck.
A John Deere dealer can teach tractors to anybody.
In the right hands, an iMatch Quick Hitch could probably cure most of the world's problems.
That's how we run, and nothing runs like a Deere.
Van Wall is proud to be your dealer of choice. Find a location online at vanwall.com.
The new 3,000-seat Sukup End Zone Club at Jack Trice Stadium will be the place to be on Cyclone Game Day. Catch Big 12 football while enjoying premium outdoor seating with access to a climate-controlled 2-level lounge area overlooking the stadium. Benefits include a la carte food stations, a full-service cash bar, Wi-Fi, and large HD TVs. To get your Sukup End Zone Club seats, visit jacktricestadium.org or call 515-294-5022 today.
Welcome back to Cyclone Sports Complex. We move into the bottom of the 6th inning, and we'll see McFarland, Antion, and Hildreth. So the bottom of that lineup that has been effective, that Alan and I have gotten to talk up quite a bit the past couple innings. We'll try and get a crack at it. The Cyclones have strained a lot of base runners. A lot more left on than have been in previous innings or even in the previous series against Green Bay. So the Cyclones need to get back to that point where if a runner is on, they move them, they score them. They haven't done that in a little bit, and I would say a lot of that has to do with the effective pitching of Kara Custer.
Absolutely. And you touch on where we, I guess, have touched on the bottom of the lineup being key. It seems like they're the ones who get on base, and it ends up being that top of the lineup in the middle lineup not being able to bring him home, which is very unusual usually. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens here with McFarland coming up to bat here for the Cyclones in the bottom of the 6th. So far, McFarland is 0 for 2 on the day, as you see right there. Here comes the delivery by Custer. And outside for ball 1.
Again, Custer pitched a complete game in game 1. And then she came in midway through the 3rd, I believe. And so she's been recording a lot of pitches this game, but she's been effective. The Cyclones have not been able to get solid hits off her other than the 2 home runs in the 3rd inning of the very first game. So it's been a while since the Cyclones have really gotten Custer's number. So could be this inning, or she could continue to battle strong. I would guess the Red Raiders are going to keep her in the circle until really the Cyclones start getting a lot of hits. They have a couple other pitchers warming up, but with the game tomorrow, they probably want to save them and keep riding out the effective arm of Custer right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, even if she does let base runners get on, the Cyclones have not yet been able to capitalize. So if you're Gregory, first-year head coach for the Red Raiders, maybe she does let 1 or 2 base runners on, maybe won't get too flat, or maybe if a base runner makes their way over to third base, say with 0 outs or 1 out in the inning. But here comes that 1-2 delivery to McFarland to the shortstop, thrown over to first base for the first out of the 6th inning.
Yet another 6-3 out. It's been the out of choice for both the Cyclones and the Red Raiders. Brooke Scott able to pull in a hard hit ball. She didn't charge that. It was coming right at her, and she was able to see it in. And now we have number 77, Nicole Antion, up to bat.
We'll see if she can get the Cyclones going like she did back in the 4th inning when she started off with a single. Even though she did get stranded, she was able to get that offense clicking just a little bit, and hopefully this time she can do the same with a different result in her crossing home plate. Here comes the 0-1 delivery to Antion. And lines it to right center gap. It looks like it will make its way to the fence as she rounds first safely into second for a stand-up double again. Here we go again, Sarah.
Yep, Antion in the bottom of the lineup starting it. That was a great hit. As I was saying earlier, we hadn't got an effective one, but you can hear from the crack of that bat, she hits the bat. She gets it square on. Custer left it a little high, so she's able to loft it and get that power, bounce in the fence, and safely make her way to second base. Didn't even have to slide, and is able to hopefully be that spark, be that energizer for the Cyclones, and it looks like we'll have a pinch runner, number 24.
Yes.
Yep. We've got freshman Kalia Kahns of West Des Moines, Iowa. She'll be in there running for Antion, as we have Sammy Hildreth, who Hildreth has been effective. She was walked, and then she got a double. So, again,
here we go with the bottom of the lineup. We hate to keep bringing it up, but, I mean, they're making us bring it up by getting on base. So
it sounds like a broken record.
Hey, but sometimes that's what has to happen. So we'll see if Hildreth can move the base runner over to third with one out. As she squares around. Here comes delivery, pulls back, and we'll take strike one.
Again, you see a lot of these batters squaring around. It's just kind of a timing thing, you know. Okay, this is my zone. You see the angle of the bat. The bottom of the bat will usually be kind of lower in the zone to the top of the zone. It just kind of is a nice tracker timing kind of shindig.
And then she'll take ball one high to move that count to 1-1 with the pinch runner on second base. There she does again, sizing up that zone, pulls the bat back, and we'll take ball 2 low for a 2-1 count. And if you're Hildreth, she just wants, you know, to get on base with top of the lineup Brittany Gomez on deck. Here comes that 2-1 delivery. Swung on right to the second baseman, unfortunately, for the second out of the inning. Just, you know, Cyclones are getting the bats on the ball, but it was just a weak hit to second baseman who was able to get a beat on it, and Hobson was able to get that second out of the inning.
Back to Gomez, but all these Cyclone at bats have just kind of left you grinding your teeth. Like, why can't I get these runners to cross home plate?
But if head coach wanted anybody up to bat right now with a runner scoring position, she has to be happy with Brittany Gomez up there right now.
Agreed.
And ball one high. Throwback. And gets to center field, but pinch runner will choose not to even try to test the arm of the center fielder in Betty All.
Cyclones just need smart base running and a solid hit here.
And looks like they're just going to pitch around Brittany Gomez, not even giving her anything in the zone. It's 3-0. More than likely going to be another outside pitch for a base on balls, but we'll see what happens here. Yep.
A very intentional, subtly intentional walk for Brittany Gomez. And, you know, if you're the Red Raiders,
you're smart.
You're smart. That's smart. The Cyclones have not been able to move base runners, and you know, Bingham's been struggling a little bit. She got on base last time, so I think Bingham needs to continue that momentum. She did a great job reaching base, and she can do it again, I think. But the Red Raiders are smart. This is where the part of the lineup where things have faltered of late.
Yeah, if you're the Red Raiders, as Bingham swings on and misses for strike one, if you had to choose to go against Brittany Gomez with 2 outs or Bingham so far today, I think they made the right choice in going against Bingham.
Yep.
Here goes that 0-1 delivery. She slaps on straight to the first baseman for the final out in the bottom of the 6th. We will head into the final frame after the break with the score still tied at 1.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
On game day, the Cyclones look to score as many points as possible.
This time, we're fighting for a 0.
We want the number of people in Iowa waiting for a life-saving organ transplant to be 0.
Working together, Iowa can be the first state in the nation where no one waits for a transplant.
If you don't have a Y next to donor on your driver's license, go to iowadonornetwork.org to help nearly 600 Iowans waiting for their gift of life.
I'm Fred Hoiberg, and I'm a registered organ and tissue donor.
And we move into the top of the 7th with the 7, 8, 9 batters, Welburn, Warnicki, and Scott for the Red Raiders. It is tied at 1 apiece, so Cyclones do have the advantage in the hits, but They also have left a lot of base runners stranded. Texas Tech hasn't been as effective as getting base runners on, but when they do, they've been able to score. So hopefully Weilbacher can continue a solid, very thorough game. She had a little bit of a struggle last inning with a hit by pitch and a walk. So, but she was able to bounce back and make sure those runs don't score. So that's the difference right now, is that Weilbacher, even though she may have walked someone, hit someone, she's still able to come back and make sure it doesn't compound into a lot more errors. So now she faces Susan Welburn, who is 1 for 2 on the day.
And this, in my opinion, is a key batter. This is with this 7-8 matchup, 7-8-9 batters. Welburn is the only girl in the 7-8-9 lineup to have a hit against Weilbacher here today. So if she can really go after her, with a liner to third base, nice snag there by Antion over to Spendlove for the first out of the inning. Like I was saying, see with the up-and-coming batters in Warnicki and Brooke Scott, they have they haven't had a hit today. Scott was able to draw a walk, but this is where you want to go attack the lineup and try to get out of the inning before you reach to that top of the lineup again.
Exactly. Antion did a nice job in the hot corner, snagging up that hard bouncer and getting it over to Spendlove. Spendlove had a little bit of a difficult throw, but was able to pull that in and get the out. So now we have Brittany Warnicki.
And Warnicki earlier flew out to Brittany Gomez in center field in the second inning. And then in the fifth inning, again, the famous 6'3" Lexi Slater to Spendlove for that at-bat as she zips one foul towards the warm-up cage there for the Iowa State Cyclones. So count moves to 1-1 for Brittany Warnicki.
Bullpen kind of be alive over there.
Yeah, they're lucky they got that fence right there. Otherwise, that could have been very bad.
Smart design move on the Cyclone Sports Complex.
Here's that 1-1 delivery, and too high for the umpire's liking to move the count to 2-1.
Looks like the Red Raiders are also starting to hold off on that pitch. Earlier in the game, you'd see them swinging pretty hard at that because it does look pretty nice. It comes in about 2 feet in front of the plate, then it looks a whole lot different when it gets in Hildreth's glove.
Whoa, and she zips one back to Weilbacher, who all she can really do is duck for her safety and her possibly her life, and that ball makes its way to Brittany Gomez as Warnicki does record her first hit of the game. Wow.
As you see there in that replay, it just skims her head. So short reaction
Thankfully,
time.
she was able to get out of the way.
Yeah, that's why you see a lot, at least in Iowa high school softball, the pitchers are required to wear masks because too many times the reaction has not been in time, and that's been not good. So luckily, Weilbacher's good, and we have another pinch hitter. It's Brittany Lee again in the first game. She subbed in for Brooke Scott.
And last time when she did sub in, she did record a double. Although it did not produce any runs, she was able to record a hit and get on base. So smart move by the Red Raiders, bringing in someone who, has had success actually today with 1-1.
And being a pitch hitter is hard. It's often a lose-lose situation. So the fact that Lee is coming off a good at bat last time as a pinch hitter, she's got a little bit of momentum. It's tough. She's expected to go in there with pretty few warm-up swings, never having seen the pitcher before, and usually late in the game. So definitely
pinch hitters are someone a coach must trust.
Yep.
To come in cold.
Usually a pretty smart batter. Watch her again. She's already got the count up to 3-0, and looks like we're gonna have a bit of a powwow here and on the mound with pitching coach Brittany Weil Miller. We'll talk to Weilbacher about how things are going out there on the mound. You do also see you do have Rogentine and some of the Cyclone battery in the bullpen, just making sure everyone's all ready to go. You do have Immels and Katie Johnson, so all Cyclone pitchers are ready to roll, but it looks like Weilbacher will continue to stay in the circle and see if she can finish out this top half of the inning and hopefully have the Cyclones keep this from going into extra.
I think she will be smart with this 3-0 delivery, not give her something right in her wheelhouse. If she wants it, she can swing at it. If not, she can take the base on balls and live to fight another day with runners at first and second and hoping and getting a ground ball for a double play. So we'll see what she does here with this 3-0 delivery. And a nice pitch there by Weilbacher for a strike. And Lee thought that she had, you know, a walk. You know, she took a couple steps towards first base. It says Blue. Blue says you're coming back in for another pitch at least. So here comes that 3-1 delivery. She squares around, pulls back, and actually tries to put that bunt down, but takes strike 2 to move the count to 3-2. Good work, though, by Weilbacher after that meeting of after a 3-0 count. Come in, throw a strike, and then to be able to put one past her, trying to put down a bunt.
This is really a big momentum piece. If
Absolutely.
Weilbacher can come out of this on top, it'll be really good for her confidence the rest of this inning.
And unfortunately, she throws ball 4 as Lee will take her base at first. So now we do have runners. We have Warnicki at second, Lee at first, top of the 7th, 1 out, and it looks like we will have a pitching change.
That was a nice pitch. You know, Lexi Slater was over there at second base, ready to go. Ooh. Might have had a little bit of different break on it than Manicum.
And look at this familiar face that is being brought in.
Yep, we have Stacy Rogentine. She had the first game and is coming in here to finish out this game here. There's 1 out, runners on first and second, and she did a good job. Both the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Cyclones are keeping to pitchers they do know. There is 1 more game tomorrow, and so probably good not to exhaust your whole pitching lineup because you do have a whole other 7 innings, and if this does go extra, might as well use the person who's already warm, already ready to go, and knows these batters. So what'll be interesting is if the Red Raiders will be able to use their knowledge from the first game to really be effective. And so then you see there her stats, are updated from last game. Rogentine did record a good number of strikeouts, so she is up to 97. So couple strikeouts here would push her close to 100 and push us closer to the Cyclones getting their chance at bat. So
absolutely, I think it's crucial for her. You know, we touched on it in the first game when there were runners on for her. She had no problem attacking the batter in the box. So we'll see what she does here with these first couple pitches. If she attacks that strike zone, or if she's going to try to work around and try to paint those corners.
She will be seeing the top of the lineup in Jordan Bedial. So Bedial did see a lot of Rogentine in the first game. Again, a very effective hitter. Usually hasn't been as much today. She did strike out earlier against Weilbacher.
And she'll take strike 1. Good pitch there by Rogentine there. Earlier, Bedial did go 0 for 4 against Rogentine. So good call by the head coach to make the pitching change. Here comes that 0-1 delivery, and another strike on the outside corner. Great pitch by Rogentine to move it to an 0-2 count. Again, I talked, is she going to attack? Is she going to paint those outside corners? I think she did both, because that's her sweet spot. That was her sweet spot, was that outside corner. So,
and that is her game. And again, both pitchers, all the pitchers today have been very impressed by their mental toughness.
There we go, and she gets that strikeout. Great pitch, great sequence by Rogentine to get that strikeout. A very big strikeout, Sarah, for the Cyclones.
Just look at that again. That's that high pitch that they were biting on earlier in the game. They're biting on that on Weilbacher, and she got fooled by it yet again. That's huge. Rogentine is doing her job in relief, is to come in there and be effective. Even if Bedial had gotten a bat on the ball, I don't think it would have been as effective. So Rogentine doing a great job. And now she gets a shot at Toomey again.
Yeah, Devin Toomey. First game, drew 2 walks, but also struck out twice. So we'll see what Rogentine does here for her 5th appearance against Toomey.
She did get down 1-0, start things off.
And unfortunately continues to go down with a very wide pitch there to move the count to 2-0.
Red Raiders usually aggressive on the base pass. Will be playing it smart. You
really haven't seen them much. Only twice they got caught stealing in that first game, and in the second game, 1 successful steal, and that's really been about it.
Yep. Once the ball gets in play, though, they will push the envelope.
Absolutely. And there's strike 1 for Rogentine on Toomey to move the count to 2-1.
Rogentine here in relief. She got the win in game 1.
There's that 2-1 delivery. Nice off-speed pitch on that outside corner. Move the count to 2-2.
I think that's something that Weilbacher is missing is an effective changeup like Roggentin has. There's such a speed difference that it is so hard for the batters to adjust. And maybe a couple at-bats later on in the game, they might be able to, but you will see her throw that with 0 strikes, 1 strike, 2 strikes, and as a third strike. So it's that changeup is her most effective, but she doesn't overuse it. And I think that's a big key part of that.
And a great strikeout there by Roggentin to get the Cyclones out of a jam. She comes in and gets 2 strikeouts to get the Cyclones out of a 7th inning jam. We will move to the bottom of the 7th with the score still tied at 1.
Keeping the people in this building comfortable is a top priority for us.
And Mid-American Energy can help.
40% of our energy bill was just keeping the lights on. Then we switched to energy-efficient lighting and bought new uniforms instead.
With new efficient appliances, I'm saving money on my energy and water bills.
And the money we save each month moving and drying this grain is easy to handle.
Regardless of size, Mid-American Energy can help improve your business's bottom line. The power is in your hands with Mid-American Energy.
Our team's goal is to win every game. Every player has a direct impact on that goal. On the highway, the way to win is to set your goal to 0. 0 fatalities. Just like basketball, safe driving takes dedication by everyone playing the game. Reaching the goal of 0 is simple. Give your full attention to driving. Obey the speed limit, don't drink and drive. And buckle up, every seat, every time. 0 is the only goal acceptable for me and my family. Shouldn't it be yours?
Welcome back. We are into the bottom of the 7th. After Stacey Roggentin came in relief with 1 out, recorded 2 strikes, the Cyclones were able to get out of a tough situation. And now it's all on the Cyclone batters. We will be seeing Allie Kappert, Lexi Slater, and Maddie Reese. This is the heart of the home run lineup for the Cyclones. But really, home runs here, we just need runners to score. We need to move those runners here, Alan. It is so key.
Yeah, it is key. And the sad thing is today, the only way they've been able to move runners, besides the 1 run in this second game of the doubleheader, is by the home run. So, I mean, if it's what you're good at, so be it. But as far as you say, they just need to get runners on base and move them around, something they haven't been able to do all day long. So.
And Kappert has done a nice job today. She's gotten on base multiple times. So. This is a good time for her to continue this and hopefully get the thing started.
And she will take a called strike 1 on the outside. She is 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. So I remember her last one to right field was about the only one that she really had power. The other one was just,
bouncers.
Absolutely. She takes a questionable strike 2 on the outside. So that might change her mentality coming into this 0-2 pitch about, how big the strike zone is. So here comes that 0-2 delivery by Custer. Oh, and there's that power by Kappert. She lines it between the left fielder and center field. She's gunning for second, and she will get a stand-up double. Great hit by Allie Kappert. And really, Sarah, just a crucial hit at a big time. But will they be able to move the runners?
I think so. Here's the pitch from Allie Kappert. 0-2. Usually not a great strike, but that is just the smartness of the hitting by Allie Kappert. She's able to pull that ball. There is no part of the plate where Allie Kappert cannot get a hit, and it looks like we'll have a pinch runner in for her. So, always good. We will be seeing Haley Womack. If you are familiar with any Cyclone soccer, you'll recognize that name. She'll be in there to run for Kappert. But again, Kappert did a nice job getting things started. She saw that pitch, and again, not the prettiest strike, but a great hit. I think Kappert is one of the smartest hitters you'll see in a long time. And also you have Lexi Slater coming in here. So just 2 more hits, and the Cyclones can get out of this. They just need to string things. One hit.
One base hit, because Womack is very fast. On the base pad. But what does it speak of Allie Kappert? The first game out against Custer doesn't record a hit, at all. Goes 0 for 3, and to be able to get a double on a pitcher that had your number that first game was key. So,
and also the difference also is Kappert is a DH, so she doesn't even have defensive you know, if you're having a bad day at the plate, but you go play rockstar defense, it's easier to
Absolutely.
psych yourself up to go into the plate. But Capper is mentally tough enough where she can have a bad day, turn around and have a good day all at the plate. So she really knows how to control her own destiny.
And here's Lex Slater. One swing. Looks like it will be tracked down a little harder. Must have trailed a little bit at the end for Hobson there at second base, but she was able to record the first out of the bottom of the 7th, and Haley Womack does remain at second.
So we do have Maddie Reese. We keep saying it and keep saying it. She's got timely hits, so we're hoping that our incessant reminder of that will carry on to a good hit here.
She had key home runs, so
Yep.
we'll see if she has a key hit here. Oh, it looks like she was possibly scoring around for a bunt, but was called ball, so.
See if we can catch the defense sleeping and utilize Womack's speed. Always smart. You know, that's the nice thing. That's the fun thing about softball is even your power hitter will sometimes change things up.
Here comes that 1-0 delivery. She will take strike one on the inside.
Reese does have a very powerful and explosive swing, but right now she just needs to get a hit. She needs to get on base and not just focus on getting a home run, but getting the bat on the ball and moving that runner.
Here comes that 1-1 delivery by Custer. And a little low to move the count to 2-1. We are in the bottom of the 7th with runner Haley Womack at second. One out with the game tied at 1 with Maddie Reese, the second baseman for the Cyclones, up to bat. Here comes that 2-1 delivery, and she swung on to shortstop, able to snag it, looks back, Womack gets her at first, and Womack is safe at third. Smart base running by Haley Womack.
Even though there was a look to freeze, there was no doubt she's going to make it. Did a nice job sliding head first, saves a little bit of time. Throws a little high, good throw, but again, hard hit. She kind of bobbled it a little bit. Womack danced around, bouncing throw over to third, and just not in time. So good move to have the pinch hitter in there in Womack. She's very speedy. And this sets up Jordan Spendlove. You know, Womack is on third, and if
Just need a base hit.
Just need one base hit.
Something Cyclones have struggled with runners in good scoring position. And she will take ball one. Now I want to go back to that Haley Womack. It almost looked like as soon as the runner took her eyes off Womack, she was already making a decision to run. So I wonder if that shortstop would have pump faked if she would have caught Haley Womack. But something we'll never know.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness. As she hits a weak liner to the first baseman who gets there in time. And we will be going to extra innings. We will start with the top of the 8th after the break.
The Iowa Farm Bureau and Iowa State Athletics congratulate Jordan Spendlove, a 2014-15 Farmstrong squad member. Jordan displays the exemplary Farmstrong character, perseverance, and work ethic of Iowa's farmers. Those individuals who don't have an ounce of quit in them. Those who are Farmstrong. Spendlove has exceptional morals and character, is a tireless worker, and goes above and beyond in everything she does. The Iowa Farm Bureau and Iowa State Athletics salute Farmstrong squad member Jordan Spendlove.
Anyone can get service in town, but US Cellular offers 4G LTE where you just wouldn't expect it. So you can watch your shows. Way out here! Stream your music. Way out here! Or check Facebook. Way out here. Pretty awesome, huh? With US Cellular, now the middle of nowhere is the middle of anywhere.
Well, we're moving into extra innings. Cyclones were not able to capitalize on a runner in scoring position, so now it's on to inning 8. We have Stacey Rogentine in the circle. She came in relief for Brianna Weilbacher. We'll see what she can do against this Red Raider lineup. We'll be facing, again, a very dangerous part of the lineup, a very speedy, with Christy Belsheet will be up first. She's been hitting it kind of to the middle infield. She'd get on base with fielder's choice last at bat. So we'll see if she's able to do her job, get on base here for the Red Raiders. Rogentine did record 2 strikeouts in the last inning. That does push her numbers up to 99. So hopefully she can break 100 this inning.
And here comes that first pitch of the extra innings. And it's taken for a ball by Christy Belsheet. Chrissy Belshi so far, I guess, grounded out to the second baseman, grounded out to shortstop Lexi Slater, and then reached on a fielder's choice. Here comes the second pitch, and it's taken again for ball 2. And again, I hate to talk about it again, but Roggenstein, no one on base. Look at her, look at the count. It's a 2-0 count. She kind of falls behind when there's no one on base. Maybe likes to thrive under that pressure.
I also think a little bit you have to give credit to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They do a good job of pushing the count, and this is why they have drawn so many walks throughout the season, is that they're smart in the batter's box, and maybe when runners aren't on, they do make the pitcher work a little bit. So I think it's a combination of forces here, but Roggenstein will have to buckle down with the count at 3-0.
Here comes that 3-0 delivery, and called strike. Good pitch by Roggenstein there. So the count will move to 3-1 on Chrissy Belshi.
Really don't want to let this first runner on in this extra innings.
No.
In any inning, you don't really want that to happen, but especially now.
And a nice pitch there for a called second strike, moving the count to 3-2. Again, we talk about it. The first game, she gets behind 3-0, 3-1, somehow finds a way to get back to 3-2 now. Can she capitalize on that and not walk Christy Belshi? Here comes that 3-2 delivery, and swung on and fouled back.
Roggenstein does a nice job on that 3-1 to take it to 3-2 pitch of it not being a very nice strike. It was a strike, but it wasn't one that you ever ask for in batting practice.
No, not at all. Here comes a second delivery for a 3-2 count. Swung on it again, fouled off. I got that feeling, Sarah, that there might just be another marathon at bat, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm praying I'm wrong. So
Belshi did a nice job. That's that high pitch that have sent down the 2 previous Red Raider batters, so she did a nice job getting a piece of that.
Here comes the third attempt at a 3-2 count. Floated to foul territory over on the left field and could not be reached by Bingham there for the Cyclones. So we will face another 3-2 count, the 4th of this at bat.
Bingham did a nice job hustling over to that corner. Yeah, she was really gunning for that. She works hard out there. She got the final out of game 1, so hopefully she can help record some more outs here to get us out of this situation.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch again, and fouled off yet again. We will see the 4th 3-2 pitch of this at bat up and coming.
Red Raiders do a nice job of getting down on the count, of really making the pitchers work for it when it really counts,
Absolutely.
We saw the huge at bat with Warnke, but even there have been other ones where they get to 3-2 and
just under Lexi Slater's glove, and that will reach all the way to the fence as Chrissy Belshi will be in with a stand-up double just under Lexi Slater's glove when you watch this replay.
And then again, Belshi is pretty fast, so she's able to get there. It's hard hit coming right at this camera, and then right past Lexi Slater's glove. So good hit, good effort by Lexi Slater, but fortunately doesn't turn out as well for the Cyclones with a runner on second. And up now we have Leah Hobson. So again, that lineup with all the RBIs that we've talked about. And again, they've also been doing a nice job today. Hobson's 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles. So she had a good day at the plate and in the field this second game.
She puts down a nice bunt and gets past the second baseman, and Christy Belshi will score for the Red Raiders. We talked about who was going to be able to actually capitalize with the runners on base, and it looks like the Red Raiders are the first to do so.
That's what the Red Raiders will do. They'll have speed, and they'll really force you to make some errors. I think the Cyclone defense got a little tensed up. See here, she lays down a nice bunt. Antion fields it in. Kind of bouncer, overthrow it, and again, it's not your normal first baseman since it is a bunt. It's Lexi Slater coming over, and so the run is able to score. I think Belshi was gunning for home plate no matter what. So now we have Kiera Miles, who was really effective game 1, not as much game 2. So we'll see what she's able to do here now.
Yeah, going back to that bunt, Antion was kind of off, thrown on the run, something she's not accustomed to. Thus, the wild throw to Maddie Reese, who was covering first base for Spenlove, who was charging that bunt.
Yeah.
And now there's a foul tip off by Kiera Miles, bringing the count to 1-1 with a runner on first, with the Red Raiders retaking the lead 2-1 here in extra innings at the top of the 8th.
Antion has had 2 throws in today's games that have really not been the greatest, and the Red Raiders have capitalized on it, and that's good work by them.
She gets a nice bunt down to first base line, does her job, makes the sacrifice, and moves over Christy Belshie. And it did look like they did record an error on Antion.
Yep. So now we'll be seeing Ashley Fultz. So Ashley Fultz will have 1 out with Leah Hobson on second. So using the small ball to their advantage and really just working their speed, the Red Raiders have been able to get a 2-1 advantage over the Cyclones here in the 8th.
And she gets down another bunt down to the first baseline and makes the tag on Ashley Fultz. Again, smart small ball by the Red Raiders. You know, they must feel that 1 run is not good enough against these Cyclones.
Yep.
So now we will have up to bat Susan Wellborn, the left fielder for the Red Raiders, with Leah Hobson on third base. Red Raiders leading 2-1 in the top of the 8th with 2 outs.
Roggentine doing a nice job. These pitches they're doing fine. The Red Raiders have not killed Roggentine on big hits. They've killed her on small ball and the rest of her defense, forcing them to make the plays, and that's a lot of times softball is won in that ways of really just, I think with a whole, you can probably win by bunting someone around in softball because it is such a fast moving game.
Here comes that 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled just above us to move the count to 0-2. Roggentine here really wants to go after and not give up another run here. So great to get ahead here 0-2 with a runner on third with this 0-2 delivery on the way. And high and outside for ball 1.
Cyclones have 2 outs. They just need to get 1 more out and a chance at bats.
Here comes that 1-2 delivery, fouled off again by the Red Raider, Susan Wellborn. Susan Wellborn on the day so far 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. So hoping to duplicate her first at-bat in the second inning with a single to move home Leah Hobson to grab a 3-1 lead. But we will see what she does with this 1-2 delivery. And she will take ball 2 to move the count to 2-2 on Brianna Wildbacher. Or excuse me, Roggentine. Again, Red Raiders being very patient at the plate, being down 0-2, moving it to 2-2, and she fouls it off yet again. So you mentioned it, Sarah, these Red Raiders, they're patient at the box. They can draw walks very easily, and they're showing that she was down 0-2. She's moved the count to 2-2, and we'll see what she does with this next delivery. Here comes that 2-2 delivery, and she will take strike 3 for a strikeout. The Cyclones only give up 1 run in the top of the 8th, and will have 1 last chance to win it in the bottom of the 8th.
Check it out.
DSL. It's so cheap.
Like it? Now people will switch back.
Well, Mediacom is still up to 10 times faster.
Yeah.
And pretty much necessary for homes with lots of devices.
Well, yeah.
And the recent FCC report said that Mediacom delivered on its 15 meg speeds, and DSL didn't. So really...
DSL is overpriced.
Yeah. The fact is, with faster proven speeds, more people switch to Mediacom for the real deal.
This is where crisp, smooth, refreshing Bud Light happens. But it is right here that it becomes an invitation. Making this not only 12 ounces of refreshment, but also 12 ounces of inspiration. To be more up for whatever than ever.
Bud Light.
The perfect beer for reading and unleashing a whole world of whatever in the name of a ridiculously good time. If you're up for whatever, look for your message on Bud Light bottles. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Welcome back. We move into the bottom of the 8th. This is live or die situation here. The Cyclones are down 2-1. They need a run. They need a run. 2 would also be ideal so that we can leave here and not have to go into extra innings. But just back to that last strikeout of that last inning. Ragantine doing a nice job in relief. That she has recorded her 100th strikeout. And again, that was that changeup I talked about. She can throw it for strike 3 and just have it be beautiful.
Yeah, the whole time those foul balls by Wellborn that she was fouling off were, fastballs, and it was nice of her to throw in that off speed because she's so good at it, and it just froze Wellborn in her tracks for strike 3. So we'll see what the Cyclones have. Leading off here with Kelsey McFarland. McFarland takes strike 1 on the outside. McFarland today so far 0 for 3 in this second game. Earlier today, McFarland did go 0 for 2. So
she's kind of hit it all over the field, so it's about time she gets Custer's number. But unfortunately, Hobson is there to field the bouncer and record the first out of the inning. Now we will bring up Nicole Antion. Now Antion has been having a good time this game against Custer, and at the bat, she had a single in the 4th and a double in the 6th. So
do we dare say it again?
It's the bottom of the lineup. They're really helping us out and giving us something to talk about right here. So hopefully they can continue to do that and get the Cyclones out of a tough situation.
And first pitch, Antion takes first strike on the inside. Antion so far having, like you said, a good day. 2 for 3 with a single, double, and earlier today she did have a bump for a hit. So she's been having a good offensive day, and she takes one to left field and a foul ball to move the count to 0-2. But it was good contact by Antion.
Sharply hit ball. I think she has Custer's timing. It'll just be if the Texas Tech pitcher is able to come out on top and fool Antion here. But
Absolutely.
I think this will be definitely an interesting duel.
0-2 pitch swung on, and looks like the shortstop will have a beat on it for out number 2. So it looks like the final out will come down to Sammy Hildreth, the catcher for the Cyclones.
Hildreth has drawn a walk, gotten a double, and flown out to second base. So she needs a smart at bat here. I think Antion almost tried too hard. I think she could have left that last pitch and really got another one that was more up her alley. So Hildreth, if she has a smart at bat here, can really just keep things going for the Cyclones, bring it to the top of the lineup in Brittany Gomez, which we know Custer really does not want to see.
Absolutely. And Hildreth earlier in the game, the first game of the doubleheader had an infield hit, but today for the second game of the doubleheader, she does have a hit with a double and a walk. So we'll see if she can get on base at some point and bring up Brittany Gomez, who, like you said, Custer definitely does not want to face. No. But if she does face Gomez, it's more than likely she's going to pitch around her.
Yep. Right now, Hildreth has drawn 2 balls, so let's see if she keeps. Again, this is a time for smart hitting. Hildreth was not fooled by that drop ball that had previously gotten Antion. Now she has a hard hit right to Hobson, and they retire the side 1-2-3. So that's the end of that game. The Cyclones fall 2-1 in 8 innings.